What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 11 OK Chapter 201 Long time no see, Itachi. You will see him sooner or later, so next time I won't choose to help you spread the word. On a hillside outside Yunoga, the person who had reported to Kenpachi to find Obito. It's not that I don't want to help Obito with work, but every time I talk to that person after get off work, there is always a kind of pressure. I'm afraid he will slash the pressure at any time. He was a moody person and couldn't guess Bing. Also, you are going to destroy Konoha, there is no need to call him. Black Zetsu, who was squatting in the mud, looked like a pit, raised his head and asked Obito next to him. He really didn't understand what Obito was going to do when he fell to the ground. Looking down at Black Zetsu, Obito's eyes were slightly mocking and disdainful. I haven't seen such a simple truth. Is this guy really Uchiha Madara's consciousness? Right. The so-called consciousness, the product of yin and yang escape, and the failure of White Zetsu. In his opinion, IQ is indeed not much higher. Whether the kid became Renin and joined Akatsuki's organization is an instruction from the upper levels of Konoha, we don't know yet. Obito is still very confident about things like IQ crushing Black Zetsu. And to explain his own strategy, Obito also has a sense of superiority. Really, after Blacken, it's not only strength, but also IQ. This is the magic of the second dimension. Kenpachi became a rebellious thing, maybe others saw it clearly and thought it was reasonable, and after joining Akatsuki, he was extremely cruel against Konoha shinobi. But based on these alone, it is not entirely certain that the other party really does not have other purposes. Take this opportunity to see if the kid will go to Konoha, if he will kill. Obito looks like a game. Let's see how Kenpachi performs in the game. He likes doing this very much. 840. If the heart is completely dark, it will be more convenient to use. Just like Nagato. In addition to testing purposes, I also want to use Nine Tails to thoroughly figure out what level of his strength is. Sharingan turned slightly. The last purpose was just to piggyback. Obito's real purpose is to find out the strength of Kenpachi. Throughout Kenpachi became a rebel and joined Akatsuki until now. It seems that no one has ever regarded him as desperate. So what about Nine Tails? If it is known as the strongest tail beast, can it inspire his true strength and let himself see his power clearly? This is the top priority. Project Tsuki no Mi is proceeding smoothly. At this moment, he didn't want anything beyond his control to appear. Kenpachi, that is the unstable factor. Ideally, it is best to use Nine Tails to kill him to avoid future troubles. Enough chess pieces. Obito is satisfied with Nagato's performance for the time being. The presence of Kenpachi would disrupt the plan. The real man behind the scenes must have absolute control over everything. Is that so? Absolutely retracted his gaze. He thought Obito had any idea. It turned out to be just a means of pediatrics. Use the tail beast to test the strength of Yi Kenpachi? You really dared to think about it, but with just a Nine Tails, which step are you sure you can do? And if it is not done well, I am afraid it will irritate the other party. Black Zetsu sees it more thoroughly than Obito with his partner for so long. He has seen Kenpachi's attitude towards Konoha. As long as it is not on the other side, it is a favorable piece. Obito, you never know, you're the real chess piece. With a weird smile at Obito, Black Zetsu hides in the ground. Tenten passed. Konoha's atmosphere became extremely depressing. The due date for Nine Tails Jinchuriki is approaching. The whole village seemed to be tense. The civilians didn't know what was going to happen, but their eyes could see the changes in the village. Returning to the busy ninja, the patrol personnel more than doubled their patrol time more tightly. This makes them understand that something too much is going to happen. Internal and external troubles. This is the situation of Konoha at this moment. The so-called ninjas that existed outside from time to time attacked, making it hard to get from the third ninja world. Konoha, who got a little respite during the battle, cast a shadow again. To be sure, this is a troubled village. But even so, every time there will be a hero to save everyone in this village. The appearance of heroes will also make this seemingly peaceful village always show the false illusion of peace. What they see is only what the senior management wants them to see. 100 skewers packed, but the day has to go on. The depressive atmosphere of the village did not make Konoha's merchants close their doors directly. Although there are fewer guests, there is still work to be done in order to make a living. October 10th. On this day, the owner of Konoha's Sanshi Maruko shop welcomed an important customer. Looking down the counter, the boss smiled kindly. I don't know whose child is actually taking care of himself like this. The person standing in front of him looks young, but his long hair is on top of his head and his eyes are calm, black and white. Dressed up in Konoha's tights are also rare. Those two double knives are missing. The long hair that was originally draped behind him changed his hairstyle and clothes on top of his head. Plus a completely different breath. Konoha does not have a few people who know Kenpachi well. No one will recognize him. And no one would have thought that the murderous double-knife ninja actually came to Mew by himself and sat calmly at the three-color meatball shop eating meatballs. Is it difficult to sneak into Konoha? Not difficult. It's even easy. knowing how Konoha's barrier opens, Hoshigaki Kisame and Uchiha Itachi in the original book. You can have a meal here calmly, why can't Kenpachi come in? Even at this moment Konoha's vigilance is greatly improved due to the imminent delivery of Nine Tails Jinchuriki, but people will instinctively ignore those children who seem to be innocent. So, even if Kenpachi passed the patrol when he came in, no one stopped him. Great. Le Fen made the balls. The owner of the meatball shop was sweating like rain. It's not bad that such a customer who directly opens 100 balls can meet once a year. Especially, if you still give money first. Full of motivation, although there is something wrong with the village in the whole store, there is only one customer. But even if there is only one, we must do our best to take care of it. This is the service purpose of the meatball shop. Continue to wear the balls, but in the balls shop, another customer greeted. Konoha forehead protector? Although the young man in front of him is a real ninja. Boss, 3 skewers. After saying this, the child with tears on his face suddenly looked at the only figure in the store in shock. Ignoring the surprised eyes of the owner of the meatball shop, he involuntarily moved to the person's face step by step. Enter. It's the familiar face. Have not seen you for a long time. Itachi. Putting the ball into his mouth, Kenpachi raised his head and glanced at him. It has not been seen for a few months, and Itachi is a little more haggard than before. It is estimated that the affairs of the Zebo clan and his own defections still had some influence on him. At this moment, Itachi has already said no. The horror and confusion in the eyes, as well as the excitement that cannot be concealed. Pointing to the chair in front of him, Kenpachi calmly picked up a bunch of balls and handed it to the opponent. Eat, I'll treat you. Sitting stiffly on the chair, Itachi's face was full of entanglement. Jonsong. You slowly spoke, but at this moment, Itachi didn't know what he should say. Others can't recognize this face, but he can't fail to recognize it. He is his only friend in Konoha. After a few months, he became Konoha's S-rank rebel. Even the Konoha shinobi were mercilessly slaughtered. Things are wrong, probably this is the feeling. Now he is right in front of him. What should I do? Why, want to do it to me? Kenpachi smiled and leaned casually on the chair behind him. Yes, this question may make you very entangled. As Konoha's ninja, rebellion is right in front of you, so naturally you should do it. Even if you know that the reason why the betrayal in front of you has become a betrayal is that Konoha is sorry for him first. Even if you know that Konoha has forced everything, there is no way to betray Shinobu. Do you still do it because of your responsibilities as a ninja? This sounded particularly harsh. Itachi has a bitter face. Do it on Jonsong. Not to mention that you can't beat this problem. If you really draw your swords, I'm afraid it's a hurdle in your heart. Give me an answer. As a Konoha shinobi, knowing Konoha's filthy hypocrisy, you must treat me. Shot. I still choose to have a meal with me. Looking at Itachi calmly, Kenpachi said again. Hands on. Still eat. It seems a very common question, but it is also a good start. Whether the outcome of the Uchiha clan will change, it all depends on Itachi's choice. Kenpachi is not a bad guy. When he left Konoha, he had already decided to say goodbye to everything before. Of course, the premise is that no one will recognize him as a friend. On the contrary, if the person in front of him changes his duty of performing justice because of his own existence, he will continue to maintain the attitude of a friend. He doesn't mind helping someone to keep the fire of the Uchiha clan at that time. The pain of killing one's own parents is not something that one person can bear. The heart is strong, and such a person is not worthy of forgiveness. Righteousness? That kind of thing is just an excuse to restrain the weak. If Kenpachi knew the righteousness, he would not take Anko out of Konoha. The righteous shit. Who provoke me, who I kill? What does righteousness do to him to live out his own way? If Konoha is righteous, then if Konoha commits something one day, ninja must destroy Konoha. So how will this person who has destroyed his own family for the sake of righteousness choose? Is it on Konoha's side or Ninja World's side? Very ridiculous question. Sword sang. A long time. Itachi took a deep breath and picked up the ball in front of him. You misunderstood me. I'm just thinking about how to talk to you. But after thinking about it, I suddenly realized that neither you nor I have changed. It's just Konoha. Not Konoha's ninja. Take a bite of the meatballs. Itachi sighed suddenly, but I was really angry. That day, I actually wanted to fight with Jonsong even more. If you really do that, the Uchiha clan will probably be finished early. Kenpachi shook his head. Take the balls and go home, don't sleep at night. Protect your brother. Pushing the 3 color balls in front of Itachi, Kenpachi knew it in his heart. Some people can see themselves before they die. Because of Itachi's words, when Hoshigaki Kisame was dying, he told himself that Sihei was not so incurable. Relatively, Uchiha Itachi is the same, a seemingly simple conversation. But Itachi didn't know that because of his changes, the fate of the Uchiha clan would also change. Is there something going to happen? Itachi asked nervously. Jonsong would not say these things to himself for no reason. Now that I said, there must be Jianeng's truth. Coupled with the changes in the atmosphere in the village, something must happen. It's October 10th. Oh no, Kenpachi shook his head. What's the point of telling Itachi and not telling him? In the original book, the relationship between the Uchiha clan and Konoha collapsed again because of the Nine Tails chaos, which directly led to the genocide in the future. But in this matter, the role of the Uchiha clan is only to be a scapegoat. The impact of Nine Tails on Konoha is also okay for the Uchiha clan. Even in the original book, the Uchiha clan wanted to fight Nine Tails together, but they were ignored. They only arranged the post-relief task. This order is under third generation. Don't let Uchi 4.4 Wave clan approach Nine Tails. Then he linked Nine Tails with the Uchiha clan in Konoha village, and made people move the clan that had been staying for decades to the outside of the village. If this continues, the intensification of contradictions is inevitable. If Konoha is wise enough to really let the Uchiha clan fight against Nine Tails, Kenpachi can guarantee that even Minato will not die. The reason is simple. Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, has opened Mangekyo. And his pupil power, not to mention stronger than Obito, but certainly not weaker. Pity. Konoha's distrust. In the end, Mother became a tragedy. Of course, the most ridiculous thing is that the reality is more complicated. As a third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen has no outstanding feats in his age. Why not let him use the Gould to seal it up? Minato's death was accidental and inevitable. I can only tell you that after today, the life of the Uchiha clan will not be better. But don't only see the shortcomings of the Uchiha clan and fail to see the advantages of your clan, and don't think that Konoha is right and blindly deny the Uchiha clan. Think carefully about this. Patting Itachi on the shoulder, Kenpachi walked to the front desk. 103 color balls have been made, and he has no reason to stay here anymore. The Nine Tails chaos is Obito's home ground, but he obviously wouldn't be willing to be lonely and just look at it like this. The Roots, the Shimura clan, the Sarutobi clan. Please die. Jumping to a high platform, Kenpachi stretched out his hand. 2 Zanpakuto appeared out of thin air and fell into hands. Night is about to fall, killing, but it has just begun. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 202. You are welcome. Please count their fate on my head. Finally this day the space is surging, and swirling lines slowly appear on the Naruto rock. Putting on a new mask means a new beginning. This is the case for Obito. Does he hate this village? Perhaps more is not recognized by the people in this village. Destroy here everything with Konoha was completely cut off. In the future, I will put all my energy on Infinite Tsukuyomi. After today, everything here has nothing to do with him. I took a look at the scene of Konoha village, and looked at the moon above my head. Obito's gaze finally fell into the darkness behind him. Hypocritical village. Simply ruin it. The figure shook. Located in the mezzanine between reality and Kamui space. He couldn't feel the temperature of this world, the only thing he could feel was the endless pain this world gave him. Living in a hypocritical dream is the ultimate destination of this world. Before that, Namikaze Minato, can you grasp the last chance? Konoha outside the village reinforcing the Nine Tails sealed enchantment, and whose ninjas are guarding nearby. In order to facilitate the delivery of Nine Tails Jinchuriki, the special delivery room. Sarutobi Lake Biwa is encouraging Kushina to work hard. And Minato is guarding the side, chakra in his hands surges wildly, desperately strengthening the seal on Kushina's lower abdomen. Even as the fourth Hokage, watching Kushina's painful look at this moment is a bit uneasy. I'm talking about Naruto coming out earlier, so I don't say anything about Nine Tails, it's like a childish. No way, that's the kind of anxious mood when I became a father for the first time. Wow, suddenly, in the calm night, a cry suddenly appeared. The birth of a new life is often accompanied by the joy of parents, just like the beginning of a person with crying, but no one knows whether this child is willing to fall into this world. But this cry made several people in the delivery room finally relieved. After giving Kushina a glance with Naruto, Sarutobi took Naruto to the next room, and Minato stretched out his hand to reinforce the seal of Nine Tails. Pity. This is the end of the smooth delivery. A scream came. Minato was shocked to find that Sarutobi Lake Biwa had fallen in a pool of blood, and his child who had just been out of 04 was held by a man with a mask. The masked man's kunai was aimed at Naruto at any time. Down. Fourth Hokage. Please leave Jinchuriki. Kumo exudes a cold light, and Obito's deliberately suppressed voice looks extremely low and hoarse, imitating Uchiha Madara's voice completely different from that of a teenager. After a pause, I glanced at the baby in my arms. Obito showed only one Sharingan with a little cruelty. Otherwise, the child's life is only 1 minute. How did he cross the barrier? Minato gritted his teeth and stared at Obito. But in the lower abdomen of Kushina on the bed next to him, the looser seal and the painful wife, Minato must choose between his wife and his children. And at the moment he looked at his wife, Obito's kunai pierced forward again. Quickly leave Jinchuriki. Don't you worry about this child's life? Moment of choice. Minato raised his head and looked at Naruto and yelled, calm down, calm down. Calm. This should be said to yourself. Obito said coldly, I am extremely calm at the moment. In an understatement, he moved Naruto to the open space behind him, and attached the detonation talisman smoothly. He watched Minato's movements incomparably. It turns out that the yellow flash did not disappoint him. Abandoning his wife, he moved to Naruto's side in an instant, and pulled off the baby with the detonation talisman attached. Blow down. The explosion hit. Obito didn't care about whether Minato was killed or not, so he grabbed Kushina and started Kamui. The disaster began. 9 tails broke out, it's so slow. Under a calm night, Kenpachi fell at the entrance of a clan next to the Hokage building. The word Shimura in front of me looked particularly dazzling. When did the Shimura clan get such a large piece of land in Konoha? The small clan next to it seems to belong to the Sarutobi clan. Stop. Kenpachi looked into the distance. The familiar soul fluctuates. Is it finally going to start? Minato finally abandoned his wife and returned with the child first. It means that Kushina has been caught by Obito, and Shikai has been sealed 9 tails, right? Tune the tiger away from the mountain. After all, Obito was a little worried about Minato's strength. Use his affection for the child to get him 9 tails. Worked. The 2 broadswords glowed coldly, and Kenpachi rushed in with bloodthirsty enthusiasm on his face. What do Jianang's words mean? Uchiha ethnic land. Itachi, who felt a little cold, was holding Sasuke and looking at the moon. But the chill at that moment made him involuntarily look into the distance. At this moment, he still doesn't know what it means. After returning home, I kept thinking about what Kenpachi said. Go home with the balls, don't sleep at night, protect my brother? Starting from today, the Uchiha clan's life will not be too easy? What exactly does that mean? What is going to happen? Itachi looked at Sasuke in his arms, and finally there was a soft touch on his face. Although mom and dad are not at home, I will protect you. Sasuke. Click. Konoha village center. A figure fell on the ground. Looking at Joe's scene, the 3-goad jade under Obito's mask slowly turned. Destroy it. Konoha. Summoning technique. He has controlled 9 tails, he just wants to make a big fuss before cutting off all the fetters. Although 9 tails was captured, because the seal of Gedo statue must come in order from 1 tail. So even if you capture 9 tails, it's useless, it's better to put it in Konoha village and take a look at those. Man with desperate expression. Boom. The huge smoke rushed in all directions. The sudden change caused the unprepared Konoha villagers to be rushed to the ground by that momentum. Roar. A combination of hatred. The strongest tail beast separated by Sage of 6 paths, 9 tails monster fox. This moment. Break out. The chaos began. The physical fitness of people in the ninja world is not too strong. Even the most powerful ninjas will be taken away by kunai. So just the brute force caused by the size of 9 tails will cause Konoha to die and wound countless. When the smoke is gone, people are desperate. What is that? 9 tails demon fox. Blow down. The earthquake trembled. 9 tails, the strongest tail beast. Even a random blow to the ground is enough to crush the buildings in an area. This kind of power alone can no longer be dealt with by ordinary ninjas. The destruction is coming. In a room in the Naruto building, a ninja falls in front of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. At this moment, Sarutobi has put on the armor and entered the battle state. Lord 3rd Generation, 9 tails appears in Konoha village. The visitor said very quickly, I see, 9 tails is suppressed by me, and you are responsible for transferring non-combatants to the shelter. 9 tails appeared. Sarutobi looked solemn. Minato is personally looked after, and his wife picks up the cow. Even a childbirth barrier was specially prepared for 9 tails Jinchuriki, but even so, 9 tails still appeared. Why on earth? He does not know, but as the predecessor of Hokage, he must prevent 9 tails from destroying the village before Minato returns. Destruction, wailing, blood. Konoha, a troubled village, finally walked out of the shadows of the Third Ninja World War. Come out, once again encountered a crisis. Every time 9 tails roared, the village was clouded with haze. Countless ninjas and villagers died under the hands of 9 tails. And Obito, watching all this from a distance with a little pleasure in his eyes. Sometimes he finds that he and Nagato are not much different. But the difference is that he didn't let others understand the pain, and then gave them a chance to enjoy peace. Thoughts. It is better to destroy this pseudo-world. This is the extreme Uchiha. After the psychological pervert, his heart was even firmer. But if he knows that his plan will be blocked by Naruto in the future, maybe he will just move directly. The other party may be killed without a pain in his hand. It's time for an explosion to add to the fun. Glancing at the Hokage rock, Obito, the man on the 4th Hokage Yan rock, sneered and gave the tail. Start brewing tailed beast bomb. Not long after, tailed beast bomb brewed to complete a huge impact and drew a crack on the ground. Tailed beast bomb rushed towards Naruto rock. At the moment, the power of the explosion is so terrifying. Minato's flying requires a magical transfer to complete. It seems that you need to choose a suitable location to transfer. But a figure behind him has descended. Kunai slid his head but penetrated directly, and his hand was also caught by Obito. Whoosh! It is another flying god. Minato's figure disappeared on the Naruto rock. Did you transfer? It's pretty loose, but it won't be so easy next time. Kamui started, and Obito's figure disappeared. The next moment, he appeared in front of Minato, where Kushina gave birth before that. Look at the enemy in front of you. Minato's eyes were serious. Time and space ninjutsu, there is no doubt that he is the opponent with the same ability as himself. Able to kill all Anbu ninjas directly under the third generation and pass through the top secret barrier. Knowing that the seal of Nine Tails Jinchuriki during childbirth will weaken this. Even unlocked the seal of Nine Tails and domesticated it. And a ninja who can go in and out freely without being blocked by Konoha enchantment. There is only one person within the range of Wo knows. His eyes narrowed. Minato stood up straight and spoke slowly. You are, Uchiha Madara. Madara. Obito was stunned. The shoulders shook slowly, self-deprecating, indifferent. At about this moment, the last trace of hope in his heart also disappeared. Slowly lowering the cloak, revealing short hair that was completely different from Madara, Obito looked at Minato again. You know it. You know. Saved me once. Obito's three-hook jade turned slowly. I'm standing in front of you, you can see if I look like before. No, it's impossible, because Madara is dead long ago. After seeing the short hair, Minato narrowed his eyes and said. It doesn't take years for nonsense. Unable to recognize the disciple standing in front of him, Obito has lost the desire to continue talking. The battle begins. After a few moments, Minato has found Kamui's weakness. The moment of the attack materialized. This is a battle against attack speed. Flying Thunder God succeeded in the second stage. Obito was once again pressed on the contract seal by Minato, and his connection with Nine Tails was cancelled. Just compare Minato and don't know. Leeway regains consciousness, which is not a good thing for Konoha. On the contrary, the offensive of Nine Tails with consciousness attack is even stronger. In addition, because he was able to solve the battle very fast, even Obito's plan to rely on Nine Tails to test Kenpachi's combat effectiveness did not completely fail. Inside Konoha village, Sarutobi Hiruzen is waving a golden hoop against Nine Tails. The pupils of Nine Tails suddenly returned to normal. Master third generation, Anbu ninja appeared behind Sarutobi and seemed to want to report something. Cover me to launch ninjutsu, and the next move I will force Nine Tails out of the village. Sarutobi turned his head and gave orders frantically. Although third Hokage has abdicated, Anbu in the village is still his direct unit. This is a fact. Minato also knows this. Hokage puppet must have the consciousness of Hokage puppet. Master third generation, this is not what I want to say. The Anbu ninja behind him shook his head bitterly. The next one is responsible for transferring the villagers. They just went to meet the Sarutobi and Shimura clan. 287. But your family, and the family of Lord Danzo. With a trembling body, Anbu ninja knelt on the ground with a thud. They are all dead. Died. Sarutobi froze for a moment, then slowly turned his head back in disbelief. Are they dead? How did you die? Look. Nine Tails. Stiff body. Sarutobi slowly asked 76,010. No, it's not Nine Tails. Your family and Master Danzo's family. It was hacked to death alive. Hacked to death. Hacked. Sarutobi Hiruzen is struck by lightning. Why will it become like this? The night of killing keeps restless. And on the high mountains outside Konoha village. Kenpachi's figure slowly fell on it. The two handles of Zanpakuto were flowing with blood. After harvesting a lot of lives, the lines on it became even brighter. I thought you would kill for a while. The ground squirmed. Ju's figure slowly appeared. I prefer to watch a good show here. Taking out the wine gourd and sprinkling it on the ground, Kenpachi seemed to be toasting someone in advance. Not long. Nine Tails, who wanted to activate the tailed beast bomb, was moved to the side by Minato. Accompanied by an explosion, Kushina, Minato and Naruto appeared on the ground. Nine Tails has been controlled by Kushina's adamantine sealing chains, but Nine Tails pierced them desperately. The seal has begun. Half of the Nine Tails in Naruto's body. On the other side, Minato was sealed in his body. Is death coming soon? Minato glanced at Shinigami, who was about to swing a knife behind him. The wife in her arms has lost her breath. But at this moment, a knife shines past. The Shinigami behind him was chopped into pieces in an instant. You also deserve to be called Shinigami. Fall to the ground. With two Zanpakuto in his hands, Kenpachi looked at Minato. As Hokage, he does his duty. But he is not a good husband and father. You are. Shinigami's bondage disappeared, but Minato's chakra and physical strength have been reduced to the extreme. And the scars on his chest are still leaking blood. Shish. Reaching out his hand, Kenpachi calmly looked at the man in front of him. Far away, Sarutobi Hiruzen has led Konoha's ninjas over. Don't get me wrong, just want to see how your son will be treated in the future. Well, he is the son of a hero after all. Fulfill your dream. Picking up Minato, Kenpachi looked behind him. Sarutobi Hiruzen's crazy face is already in his mind. Kenpachi waved Zanpakuto, and the blood on it fell to the ground. Old dog, I took the body of Namikaze Minato. By the way, there are hundreds of lives in the Sarutobi and Shimura clan. You are welcome, please also put this account on my head. Slowly fly into the air. Kenpachi gave a bloody smile. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 203 The most frustrated moment in Konoha's history. The peaceful ninja world is back. Konoha, known as the number 1 ninja village, once again suffered a huge blow. Nine Tails Jinchuriki gave birth and unfortunately caused Nine Tails to run wild. Konoha suffered heavy losses in this incident. And this loss was also passed on to the desks of the shadows of the major shinobu villages. The chaos of Nine Tails. Konoha went from the lowest villagers to the top to the ninja, and the price he paid was horrible. Needless to say, the number of deaths of villagers and ninjas. And the biggest blow was the 4th Hokage, who was just on the top, and Konoha's yellow flash, Namikaze Minato, died together with his wife in order to seal Nine Tails. His corpse was easily taken away by the rumored double knife ninja in front of Konoha's high-level staff, with an unknown purpose. In addition, the hardest hit was Konoha 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen and the root leader Shimura. In completely unknown circumstances, everyone up and down in their clan was chopped to the ground by the double knife ninja. Annihilation. To be precise, Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo at this moment have no idea about their families except for being alive. And this account. The dual blade ninja clung to himself very generously. Extremely arrogant. Blood debts add to the body, not afraid of any retaliation. This is what the genius that Konoha had done away. Maybe no one thought of it. The man who was single-handedly promoted by them to become rebellious ninja was able to do this kind of thing. Regret. Do not. Now they are already unable to do anything against Yi Bajian. The 4th generation is killed, and the dead rest in peace. He entrusted his beliefs to the next generation when he was alive, and he chose to protect Konoha with his life. But does his death have value? Is it possible to awaken this long-silent village? No one knows these. Is it really responsible for entrusting faith to the next generation? Do unto others, do not impose on others. If your son is not the protagonist, has no mouth, and does not have a plug-in, then please choose yourself carefully. The dead sleep peacefully. It is the living people who suffer. At the last minute, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen denied the idea of selecting 5th Hokage. No. With the face of his face, he chose to go out again to receive the right of Hokage. Is it really helpless, or the obsession with Hokage's position in my heart? The 3rd Ninja War Konoha paid too heavy a price, so he chose to step down and let Minato take over. To be precise, coming from Hokage's position as a sinner who admits his mistakes and regards himself as Konoha. But now, he is on top again. Did not choose to let people find Jiraiya or Tsunade to return to the village, but returned with the strongest Hokage posture. Konoha began to rebuild his position. But the blow to the village caused a chain reaction. The border crossings of the country of fire are getting more frequent. There is no doubt that Konoha is extremely weak at this moment. Judging from the attitude of the major ninja villages, there is a faint desire to continue the 3rd Ninja World War. The atmosphere in Ninja World became tense because of this. Tien Jiguo. It will still be the stronghold where Kenpachi was rescued by Orochimaru before, and the Odonin village in the future. The same bed. There are different people lying down now. It's a miracle. Looking at the state of Minato, and then at the machine next to him, Orochimaru's face was filled with exclamation and incomprehensible. What a resilience. Ordinary people's body is pierced, I am afraid they will not live for a few seconds. Even a ninja, it's good to be able to hold on for a few minutes. Even for him, it is very difficult to recover from this kind of piercing damage. But after having chakra from Nine Tails, the recovery ability is so pervert. Is this the advantage of Nine Tails Jinchuriki? Orochimaru sighed and looked at the Knight Kenpachi next to him. At this moment, the opponent is holding a spell, and a light blue one can be clearly seen on it. The villain stood there in confusion. What it is? Swallowed. Orochimaru thought that after getting along with this, he had already seen through Kenpachi, but the more. After further understanding, he found that what he knew was the tip of the iceberg. I thought you would start 3rd Hokage directly with a few strokes. Orochimaru said suddenly after a long silence. At the last moment, this man just returned here with Minato's badly injured body, and didn't. Shot against Sarutobi Hiruzen. He can't figure it out. Don't you think that leaving this scourge Konoha is more valuable than killing him? According to the report of Kenpachi's sleep canthus, Sarutobi really can't understand it. Kenpachi calmly clasped the spell and walked to Minato's bed. And you seem to be talking to me, his life will be left to you. Kill Sarutobi Hiruzen. Revenge on Konoha. That thing is not easy. But indeed, Kenpachi's original intention is to bring Konoha in a pot. But he found something more interesting. Think about the pain Naruto suffered when he was a child, and think about if that kind of scene made Namikaze Minato. Watch carefully. Then ask Minato how he feels about saving Konoha. This kind of thing seems very interesting. Like. Deal with them. You don't even have to do it yourself. Even if it is shot, it is not now. What's the point of asking for a tattered Konoha? Choosing an appropriate time to expose all the dark scenes of Konoha is very exciting. No. Yeah, as expected of you. Orochimaru gave a big smile. He found that the man in front of him was like a natural villain, and only the villain could do what he did. He could finish things like Bai Jing's extermination lightly, and he did it beautifully. At this moment, the weak man on the hospital bed woke up leisurely. Slowly opening his eyes, Minato's eyes showed their reflections. Two people, two Konoha's S-rank rebels. Orochimaru and Yi Bajian. Why are they here? Do not, is why I am here. With a buzzing head, Minato finally remembered what happened before. Why did he save me? Looking at Yi Kenpachi for an instant, Minato's eyes were both cautious and puzzled. He who is connected to Shinigami can see clearly. This man smashed Shinigami's phantom to pieces with just one knife. Ability to attack Shinigami. But also because of his attack, his soul was not taken away by Shinigami. Just about to ask something, the boy next to the bed put his finger on his lips. Shish. You just need to listen to me. He calmly jumped onto the hospital bed and squatted next to Namikaze Minato's head and pointed to the charm in his hand. Colored villain. As you can see, this is your soul, and that Shinigami draws things out of your body. My soul. Minato's pupils shrank for a while, and when he couldn't wake up, he felt that something was missing. Don't worry. Even though I only need to squeeze this thing gently, it will be in effect to seal the ghoul with you. But I don't want to do that yet, and I will even return it to you. The spell radiated a blue light, and Kenpachi calmly pointed him towards Minato's body, with that. A spell. It's like penetrating the body. At this moment, Minato finally felt something certain. Of course, this is on the premise that you are obedient enough. The charm that penetrates into the soul. If you do something against my will, I don't want to see it. He would explode like a detonating talisman. Quote. The detonation talisman exploded the body, but the thing exploded the soul. Touching his chin, Kenpachi pointed to Minato's forehead. Well, I know you are not afraid of death, and you even have the mind to send information to Konoha. Suddenly there is a gentle and kind smile like a grandfather. Kenpachi continues to speak, but you. The son is scared. Quote. At this moment, Minato had a fierce cold war. Speaking the most gentle words, the most ruthless knife. What did Yi Bajian go through outside? It turned out to be so hot. The other party was right. If he uses his own soul under the control of the other party as a threat, he will not feel much. But if it's the son he has high hopes for. That. It seems you understand. Kenpachi nodded in relief. Then let me talk about precautions. First, you can go back to Konoha, but you can't reveal the information that you are still alive. Believe me, your soul has no secrets to me, so if there is abnormal behavior, I can start from the spell as soon as possible. Find soul information. Second, don't try to use the ghoul seal to destroy the spell again. It is impossible, and even if you succeed, I will go to Konoha and kill your son without saying anything. Third, use your eyes to look at Konoha, and when your son grows up, I will give you a chance. After speaking, Kenpachi jumped off the bed and got lazy. For your savior, I don't think these 3 points are too much. In short, if there is nothing wrong with you, you can go to Konoha quietly to see your son. On the contrary, if you cause my dissatisfaction, I will let the gentleman next to you use dirty soil. Resistance, you and your son will all die. Resurrect Uzumaki Kushina, do something in front of you that makes you unacceptable. Patting Minato on the shoulder, Kenpachi turned and left. The threat is enough, but everyone knows how to choose. And what is placed in front of Namikaze Minato is to match this path. May I know your purpose? Also, that Uchiha Madara. Seeing Kenpachi leaving behind, Minato opened his mouth and asked. Who do you think of Madara? Will it be lost by you? No purpose, even if you have you, there is no need to know that Kenpachi stopped and said with his back to Minato, and that person is not Uchiha Madara. The real Madara is just a Susanoo, you can't do anything with him. As for his identity, Uchiha with short hair, you are familiar with it, so slowly think about it. Give you a hint, sometimes, what you think of death is just the beginning. After a pause, Kenpachi tilted his head and looked at him. Like you, clearly dead but still alive, just like the person you can remember when you look at Kakashi's Sharingan. The world of ninja is changing. Akatsuki still hides in the dark as a mercenary in the war. Complete advanced tasks. Murder without a purpose. Kill Konoha today, and Cloud Shinobi Village tomorrow. This is how mercenaries are hired by people. Gain profits in the war. The friction remains. The major ninja villages are consuming their own heritage crazily. There is no huge conflict, some are just contests hiding in the shadows. Tien Jiguo. It is still the Yinyan village in the future. The stronghold at this moment already looked like a shinobu village. According to Orochimaru, when Otoyan village is completely established, he will defect to Akatsuki and become Otoyan. The leader of the hidden village prepares the next step. And on the hillside next to Yinyan village, a young man brandishing a pair of knives finally stopped his actions. Jumped down from above, falling in front of Anko, Gurren, and Namikaze Minato. It's been 3 years. Shaking his neck, Kenpachi looked at Namikaze Minato with a sad face. He is worried. Because of the recent news from the ninja world, Konoha is not so good. As the fourth Hokage, do you have to worry about Konoha even if you die? Kenpachi shook his head. 3 years. The teenager is close to 10 years old. Still immature, but a lot taller. Naruto is 3 years old. Since I can remember, Naruto, who was thrown into the apartment by third generation, doesn't know who his parents are. And Minato's anger also followed. Obviously, besides Konoha's trivial matters, there is one more thing that upsets him. That's why Naruto's recent life is very worrying. But what he saw now was only the surface. Shaking his head, Kenpachi looked towards the east. You can practice anytime. But now, there is something to be done. 3 years. Konoha has changed a lot. Although the reconstruction is complete. But the problem is also more obvious. The fourth Hokage next to him is not only worried about Konoha's external pressure, but also his son's. There are also internal problems in the village. The friction between the Uchiha clan and the Konoha high level is getting worse. That is a question left over from history since ancient times. Minato has always felt that third generation has done a little too much. No matter what, as long as you have a relationship with the Uchiha clan, it will become complicated. As long as the Uchiha clan bears the name of the Uchiha clan, it will definitely not be fair. Treatment. The distribution of benefits is completely inconsistent with the contribution of the Uchiha clan to Konoha. This is where the problem lies. Even after the Nine Tails chaos, what shocked Minato was that third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen turned Uchi. The Bo family land was forcibly moved to the edge of the village. The meaning is obvious. They don't believe in the Uchiha clan. But even if you don't believe it, doing so can only intensify the conflict. Can't sit still. Looking at the information sent by Orochimaru, Minato looked irritated, and Kenpachi calmed down. Asked. The messenger of Cloud Shinobi village is going to Konoha. I don't know how it turned out. Minato said with a wry smile. It's simple, I will show you it. With the swords on his shoulders, Kenpachi beckoned to Minato and turned away. The most frustrated time in Konoha's history, this kind of famous place makes Minato see that it is naturally good for the body. Health is not. Nah. After Bai Jing, they came to Konoha to negotiate, and then took the opportunity to take away Princess Byakugan from the Hyuga clan. Later, he was beaten down and forced to death the members of his village, but it was rare. This kind of thing will come out of Konoha. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 204. Call Dad 3 times in the yard and I will show up. This winter is extremely cold. Maybe God knows that tragedy is about to happen. Konoha. In a civilian apartment not far from the central Hokage building. The yellow-haired child who was only 3 years old and less than 4 years old carefully picked up the hot water bottle and poured water into the bucket of instant noodles. For children without parents, this kind of work is extremely easy to do. Sitting on the chair blankly, the child looked at the instant noodles with a warm smile. He hates to wait 3 minutes for the instant noodles to heat up. Looked at the furnishings around the room. It's simple, there are not a few things in total but it's very messy. He has lived here since he can remember. Fortunately, the old grandfather had taught him how to exchange money for food, so he would never starve to death. Finally, 3 minutes of waiting passed. The child picked up his chopsticks and ate his favorite food to his fill. It's just that a question suddenly got into someone's mind. 1. Does Naruto really like ramen so much? Maybe not. I love the habit of ramen, probably because when he was a child, he could only eat instant noodles, he suddenly tasted the taste of ramen, and he always felt that it was the best food in the world. In fact, if you have had enough food and clothing since childhood, like Konohaka's third generation's Konohamaru, you have a personal teacher to take care of it. Ramen food may be just inferior food to satisfy your hunger. After eating the instant noodles, the child rubbed the orange suit on his gloves and left his home. What he was destined to didn't know was that when he left, 2 figures opened the dilapidated apartment window and got in. There are 3 days of expiration of instant noodles. Milk that has expired. Quote. It's all in the refrigerator. Obviously it is the beginning of the month, what is the change in the wallet enough for? Boom. He slapped his palms heavily on the table, and the yellow-haired man sat decadently on the sofa next to him. Small apartment. Single bed plus a table, and a small bathroom. This is where Naruto will live in the next 10 years. Where is my home? Even if Konoha was destroyed by Nine Tails, why did you give Naruto this kind of living environment after reconstruction? Third generation is not to blame for this matter. To Minato's surprise, the teenager who usually hides third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly say such a sentence. After all, the money he gave can support the daily life of eating instant noodles. Your 3-year-old son doesn't know how to use money to make money to give himself a better life. With a bright smile on his face, he patted Minato on the shoulder, but Minato could tell from the inside of the words. It's all ridicule. This is the irony, it's nothing more than the reverse of third generation. After all, letting a 3-year-old kid use money and cow money, does it even make sense? Obviously not required. Seeing Minato's decadence, Kenpachi shook his head and said nothing. Only by seeing with your eyes can you see the most real situation. As it is now, Kenpachi didn't encourage Minato to hate Konoha or something, but just showed him. Looking at Naruto's life, let him see the problem from the perspective of a parent. Then it is estimated that he will be very emotional at this moment. Maybe before he died, he carried all the pain on his back as Kushina said, this is a ninja fate. But after he used the ghoul to seal it all, his so-called ninja fate is over. At the moment he is an observer living in the shadows. Watching how the village he protects with his life will continue to develop. Obviously, he is disappointed now. In the original book, Minato only met Naruto once in the sealed space of Nine Tails. I also learned that Naruto's life was not very good. But that kind of notification is completely different from intuitive perception. And at that time, Minato was already dead, and he couldn't interfere with his child's growth process. What does Naruto's tearful words mean? Can't make friends. Detested by everyone. Desperately using pranks to attract attention. Naruto vividly interprets the story of an inspirational dick who grows into a hero. But has Minato ever wondered if his son is not the protagonist? If his son is not transferred by Ashura, it will probably be over when Madara pulls away from Nine Tails. Got it. Fly up. Believe that my son is not a pitted son. All in all, now that Naruto's life makes him feel the same, the anger has slowly drilled out. Then choose none. No normal dad would look at himself. My son has been here. Kind of day. Passionate. But Kenpachi knew that such days had just begun. If Minato can't help it just by seeing this, his path will definitely change in the future. Hero. That thing is not for man. Only when I'm bored will I choose to save some irrelevant AEEJ people by myself. Great people are very aggrieved in their lives. Then why not choose a happy person to be cool? To be sure, when Minato sees his son being excluded everywhere, and even villagers throwing stones on his face, it must be very interesting. The son of the hero is squeezed out by those saved by the hero. That's really something. Even the news that Naruto is Nine Tails Jinchuriki is revealed, but the fact that he is Minato's son is not revealed. Kenpachi doesn't understand what this means at all. Which son of Nine Tails Jinchuriki and Minato attracts hatred, don't the Konoha executives know? That's right, Minato's third ninja war really made a lot of enemies, and he insisted on hiding that he was Minato's child. Son, it's okay to be afraid of others asking for trouble. But you send people to monitor Naruto and Nine Tails Jinchuriki every day. They are enough to protect him, right? Enough for him to live a better cow life, right? Unfortunately not. Looking at the chaotic room in silence, Minato deliberately cleaned up the room for his son. But in the end, if an abnormality in the room is found, his son will inevitably be questioned by Anbu's people. Fan caused unnecessary trouble. He took out the wallet and took out a wad of money into Naruto's wallet. As a father, he really. I don't know what face he used to see his son at this moment. Perhaps third generation has its own considerations to hone Naruto's character, maybe. After thinking for a long time, Minato suddenly said something that he didn't believe. How about tempering your mother? Kenpachi flipped through Byakugan, pulled Minato with a distorted expression through the window and left Naruto's house. Konoha has a special flavor in winter. Under a piece of white, at the gate of the ninja school, a purple-haired girl wiped the snow from the swing and sat on it. Seemingly chilling, the girl sighed slightly with her little hand. 3 years. I haven't heard about him for a long time. Some people say that time can dilute everything, but in the eyes of Yu Yushian, when he was young, he entered himself. The figure of the heart becomes more profound. The last time I heard about him was the Nine Tails Chaos 3 years ago. It is said that he killed all members of the Sarutobi clan and Shimura clan alone. The pleasing slaughter may be the first time Kenpachi blamed Konoha's high-level staff when Kenpachi became a rebel. Because from beginning to end, that incident was not Kenpachi's fault. When people left the village and worked desperately for the village, Konoha caught it instead. My sister. No matter who put this thing on, it can't bear it. Only, after all, he was not qualified to leave Konoha with him. Here, she never dared to ask the man's information openly. Everything about him seems to be taboo. Under the deliberate darkening of third generation and Danzo, the man in his heart seemed to be a demon and unforgivable. Even the degree of hatred is comparable to Nine Tails. Body shake. Konoha has lost the warmth it used to be after the reconstruction. Even if she had sunshine in the winter, it still made her extremely chilling. Is it cold? Just when the girl was holding her shoulders and trying to get a bit of temperature, a voice came to her ears. At this moment, a trace of sluggishness appeared on the girl's face, and her neck slowly turned stiff. Into the head. It's a familiar, but slightly different face. It's been 3 years. He has changed a lot, but she still recognizes it. He is back. Slowly hugged the girl, took her to her arms, and sat on the swing together. The winter at this time, after all, is not as cold as before. You are back. Well, take you away. Good. You don't have to say too much about the extra words. When you know each other's minds, no matter where people are. Mind will always be close to a lot invisibly. Leaning on Kenpachi's chest. There was a string of necklaces on Azuki Shien's neck. This thing should have been given to the other party 3 years ago, but it was delayed because of something. The necklace is not expensive, but it was bought by Kenpachi's only reward for his mission. In addition to the necklace, there is also a bracelet on Anko's wrist. In the winter sun, there are 2 more figures leaning against each other, and the people who come and go except for the envy. No one dared to come over and bother apart from his expression. Minato, who was hiding in the corner in the distance, looked at the two and sighed. Once upon a time, he and Kushina believed in each other in the same way. Time passes by. Until noon, when the girl's belly rang slightly, Kenpachi smiled and pulled her up. His hand walked into the distance. But just a few steps away, the distant scene attracted Kenpachi's attention. Hey, are you from the Hyuga clan? Open a Byakugan and have a look. Yes, open a Byakugan to cheer up the big brother. Quote quote. The girl stepped back, accidentally stepped on a rock and sat in a snowdrift looking in front of her in panic. She is a much older boy. The dog blood drama in the original book was staged. At only 3 years old, Hinata is facing the most important moment. But what makes people puzzled is that it is clear that these children guessed that each other's white pupils came from the Hyuga clan, but they dared to cheat. Lose it. Do not. Is the quantity large? But from their performance, Bajian can infer Konoha's current situation. The so-called big clan. Apart from feeling good about themselves in Konoha, these civilians didn't think they were superior. There is even a special prejudice against the big clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen's brainwashing strategy. Attach importance to civilians and suppress the bloodline race. The Hyuga clan is relatively regular. If it is the current Uchiha clan, I'm afraid it has already appeared. Head-on conflict scene. Princess Byakugan is still backing away. A figure appeared in front of her when the children wanted to throw a stone at her. Teenager with long hair. Does the hero save the beauty? Not really. Coming to Konoha this time, Kenpachi brought his unique purpose. Apart from taking away Azuki Yuyan, that is the Hyuga clan. The story of the Hyuga clan in the original book makes Konoha quite aggrieved, but whether Konoha is aggrieved has little to do with him. What he wants is to reverse the Hyuga family's idea of being a dog. The key to reversing the idea is to let Hyuga Hiyashi thoroughly see Konoha's attitude towards them. And this opportunity is Hyuga Hiyashi's younger brother, the death of Hyuga Hazashi. Take the opportunity to do something. It is best to let the Hyuga and Uchiha clan rebel against Konoha together. This is what Kenpachi wants to do. Otherwise, he has nothing to worry about running to this hypocritical village. As for stepping out to help Hinata, it is just the beginning compared to the entire Hyuga clan. Hey, who are you? Obviously, Kenpachi stood in front of Hinata and caused the dissatisfaction of these bullies. Unfortunately, they understood the wrong direction. Kenpachi is not Uzumaki Naruto, nor would he be embarrassed with such a clumsy shadow clone technique and be beaten for no reason. Even, he didn't have any thoughts of talking to each other. Calmly walked in front of them, grabbed the leader's collar casually, and then raised his other hand high. Snapped. The crisp, loud slap spread far and wide. Just for a moment, the poor unlucky child fainted directly. Throwing to the leader, Kenpachi looked at the other 2 figures and instantly reached them and bowed left and right. Snapped. Snapped. 3 slaps. 3 children are dead. The slap lethality thrown out by pure brute force looks pretty good. Hey, just a lesson, is it a bit too much? Minato in the corner couldn't help but walked over. Minato, who had changed his hairstyle and painted lines on his face, was not recognized. Huh, then let me ask you, if I don't come out, what will happen to her? Kenpachi glanced at Namikaze Minato calmly. Your extra kindness has already harmed yourself, your wife, and your son. Do you still harm her now? Excess kindness. Hurt yourself, hurt your wife and son. Minato was struck by lightning, and finally bowed his head in pain. Too lazy to talk to Minato. Kenpachi walked up to the sluggish Hinata step by step, put one hand on her forehead and smiled gently. Go back and say hello to your father. That said, Yi Kenpachi has already come. If he has something that makes him uncomfortable, he can call Dad 3 times in the yard. I will appear in front of him then. Shout 3 times Dad. Hinata shivered, looking at Kenpachi curiously in his white pupils. Is he my grandfather? The cute girl had no idea what this meant. I don't know that the disaster of the Hyuga clan is about to come. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 205. Remember, you are dead. Did you like her? The encounter with Hinata was just an episode. But the sensitive girl still asked with a curious look. Who are you fancy? A 3-year-old baby. Kenpachi barely stumbled to the ground. I really don't know how long Uzushian's brain circuit is, and this kind of words can even be said. Don't say anything else. Just 3 years old, Kenpachi doesn't have that special emotion. So here comes the problem. 3 years old, what can you do? Naturally, I can't do it, Kenpachi can't do it, and he's not too old now. So the episode can only be an episode, just let her bring a message to Haimyu Hiyashi. Not much thought. That's it. As for whether Hyuga Hiyashi can't think about it, tell Gao directly the news that he has come to Konoha. Regarding this matter, Kenpachi is not worried that since he said that he would make a choice without thinking, it naturally makes sense. Kenpachi is a traitor. It's the traitor that Sarutobi Hiruzen hates very much. After all, their family, except for himself, has already been killed by Kenpachi. If Hyuga Hiyashi reports the situation to third generation, it will definitely arouse third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's suspicion. He can't help but think about why Kenpachi would find Hyuga Hiyashi and what his purpose is. Is there any connection between the Hyuga clan and Kenpachi? From these points, unless Hyuga Hiyashi brain pumps, he will not report to third generation. As the head of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Hiyashi can definitely see Konoha or Konoha. Only with the arrival of the Cloud Shinobi Village mission, the atmosphere became a lot more lively. The messenger of Cloud Shinobi Village is to negotiate on behalf of the defeated party. Ordinary people feel that since those people are here for peace talks, then peace will follow. The third ninja war was over with Konoha's victory. For Konoha, this is a great good thing. But they didn't know that Cloud Shinobi Village didn't lose too much, nor did they want to attack Konoha. It's difficult, they just want to use this method as a threat to get more benefits. Those people from Cloud Shinobi are here. Konoha, inside a certain hot spring. Kenpachi sat calmly inside, and Azuka Shion behind him was wiping his body. In the other private room separated from it, Minato's voice passed through the mezzanine. Come. It's Kenpachi and Azuki Yuga's private time. Minato, as an outsider, this kind of scene. However, it is not allowed to enter. See him understand this point of vision. But there are always some doubts in my heart and I want to find someone to talk to, so Minato chose to be next to Kenpachi. Wait for a chat in the small compartment. Kenpachi became lazy and took a mouthful of Azuki Shion in his arms. I always feel that things are not that simple. Frowning, Minato took a deep breath and analyzed. The strength of Cloud Shinobi Village is not bad, or it is stronger than the current Konoha. In terms of their combat effectiveness, if they attack with all their strength, Konoha will definitely be scorched. But they actually chose peace talks. Little Sun has a sad look on her face. Compared with third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, he knows the current Cloud Shinobi Village better. In fact, if it hadn't been for him to defeat the AB combination on the front line before, that time the wood Yi has been torn open, the enemy will also appear in the territory of the Fire Country. From this point, he is even the difficulty of Cloud Shinobi Village. But third generation is different. At the beginning of the Second Ninja War, and at the end of the First Ninja War, he went outside the battlefield. During the Third Ninja World War, he played a commanding role in Konoha. He had no real fight against the major ninja villages and his control of the situation was extremely weak. This is an obvious conspiracy. Cloud Shinobi Village must hope to get enough benefits from this negotiation. So, what do they want? Minato's eyes were serious. Look slowly, didn't I tell you before I brought you to Konoha? This is Konoha's calendar. At this moment, Namikaze Minato is still thinking about the problem from the perspective of Hokage. The most humiliating moment in history. Quote, rather than being a bystander, that's why I make myself look extra nervous. But let me remind you. After a pause, Kenpachi grabbed the wine gourd next to him and took a sip. Reminder. Little Sun was stunned. Namikaze Minato is dead. Look at your son more. Already dead. For the dead, don't worry about what the living people do. This is what Kenpachi wants to say. With that time, take a look at your son, maybe you still want to destroy Konoha with me. Minato smiled wryly and shook his head. Really, he is already dead. The Konoha matter is handled by third Hokage. But he was still worried. The person next door sometimes felt that he was a wise man who looked at the world of ninja very thoroughly. Sometimes he is a complete lunatic. After getting along all the year round, he naturally regarded Kenpachi as a trustworthy person around him. Even if this person brightly killed Yi Ninja, this does not hinder Minato's appreciation of Kenpachi. Sometimes, one of his words is worthy of careful consideration. Is it unusual for a lunatic? With a sigh, Little Sun, a flying thunder god, left. People are gentle with their little girlfriend, it's not good for him to always talk and disturb each other here. 3 days later, the arrival of the messenger from Cloud Shinobi Village gave Konoha's villagers and ninjas hope. And Sarutobi Hiruzen's mood in the Naruto office was obviously mobilized. Peace talk. This is what he dreams of. Has entered old age. He only hopes to protect the village with the last moments of his life. When there are enough ninjas in the village, we will hand over the burden to the good.
Pity. Take a look at Konoha. He didn't even see a role that could play Hokage. Compared to Konoha, who had a wealth of talent before, this kind of ruksha made Sarutobi Hiruzen extremely worried. Hitaki Kakashi. No, I don't know what happened to Kakashi, but I can see that since the arrest. When Yi Bajian returned from a failed operation, he appeared extremely silent and didn't have much interest in anything all day long. Such a person naturally cannot become Hokage. Tsunade, or Jiraiya. Tsunade. I vaguely remember the old man she called before she left, and her indifferent attitude, Sarutobi. Hiruzen could only smile wryly. There is no doubt that my teacher has been disgusted by Tsunade. Because of the Senju family? It's because of Nawaki. There's no need to go into these things anymore. What's certain is that if she is still in Konoha, she must not. Will accept the invitation to return to the village, and Jiraiya's power and prestige are no problem. But that character is destined not to become Hokage. The sadness of the times. Why did Konoha become like this? At this moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen even missed Hitaki and Namikaze Minato. But he didn't feel that what he had done was wrong. He didn't realize at all why the real Daiichi Shinobu became what it is today. He didn't even know that it was all his sin, and he still shamelessly stayed in Hokage's position. And now, he is about to make a huge mistake again because of his weakness. Crunch. The door of the Naruto office was pushed open. Danzo's gloomy old face came into Sarutobi's field of vision. Danzo, I said that even you have to knock on the door when you enter the office. Frowning, Sarutobi said in dissatisfaction. Since he reappeared in this office as Hokage, his old buddy treated him. Sarutobi also understands why his attitude plummeted. Danzo has always wanted to be Naruto. Even after the death of Minato, when he went to the Daming Mansion of the Country of Fire to discuss the next Naruto, the group. The Tibetan capital desperately wanted to recommend himself. Pity. In the end, he stood up. It was just like the question asked by Lord Second Generation during the First Ninja War to cover their retreat. When is the time? You still have to worry about those things. A slow step means that he has completely lost his opportunity in the future. Danzo walked up to Sarutobi in a daze and said, When? What happened? Sarutobi frowned. Today is the Hyuga clan, and Hyuga Hiyoshi's daughter is living a cow day. A little doll celebrates her birthday. Do you want me to celebrate her? Although the Hyuga clan is Konoha family, but not yet. Just as Danzo spoke, Sarutobi interrupted mercilessly. Can you listen to me finish? Danzo frowned. It's okay to pass the day, but the people at Cloud Shinobi Village took the opportunity to take Hyuga chicks. Tien was taken away. It's not over yet. The consequences of robbing people in the Hyuga clan's clanlands are obvious. The man who tried to capture Hyuga Hinata was killed by Hyuga Hiyoshi, who was driven there. After speaking in one breath, Danzo stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen's face. As he imagined, Cloud Shinobi Village did come with a purpose this time. And the goal it is Konoha's blood succession boundary, Byakugan of the Hyuga clan. As for why they got the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan made a great contribution in the battlefield. During the battle at Cloud Shinobi Village, Hyuga. No matter which party owns Byakugan, it means more than one layer of protection. Byakugan's detection function is too powerful. With Byakugan, all the so-called encounters are not encounters. Cloud Shinobi Village lacks blood inheritance limits. For them, their desire for Byakugan is above all else. So taking the opportunity of the armistice to acquire Byakugan is their plan. It coincides with the birthday of the little princess of the Hyuga clan. This is a golden opportunity for them. To capture a woman, Cloud Shinobi Village is the best way to carry forward Byakugan's blood inheritance. Unfortunately, their plan failed. Hyuga Hinata was rescued. Call. Meditate for a moment. Third generation finally recovered from the shock. There is no peace that can be easily obtained. The so-called peace talks are just a cover. With a wry smile, Sarutobi sighed. What's the situation now, Cloud Shinobi Village and Hyuga clan? Boom. The door of the Naruto office was kicked open. A black girl is carrying the Cloud Shinobi Village ninja killed by Hyuga Hiyoshi. The subordinate walked in, and on the stretcher behind them, Konoha was negotiated. Earlier Sarutobi Hiruzen thought this was because Raikage paid more attention to this negotiation. I don't know, now it has become that people want to show their toughness. Third Hokage, I, Cloud Shinobi Village, came to negotiate with you Konoha with sincerity. But why did you Konoha suddenly kill the members of the mission? I need Konoha to give Cloud Shinobi Village an explanation for this matter. As tough as always, like the will of thunder in Cloud Shinobi Village. Although Mabui is still young, the vigorous behavior on his body has already made third generation see a trace of sweat on his forehead. Imaginary. Do not. He was a little shocked at how shameless he was with Cloud Shinobi Village. Obviously, you are the first to want the blood of the Hyuga clan. Now that the wicked first sue and beat him up, where's the face? Standing up, the roar of third generation loomed. The people at Cloud Shinobi Village really think he is old? What do you want to explain? The reason why Shinobu is Shinobu, the aura on his body is still very bluffing. Who are you scaring? Seeing Sarutobi's appearance, Azabui had a look of disdain on his face. Before coming, she specially investigated Konoha's situation. With Konoha's current situation, it is really not an opponent of Cloud Shinobi Village. Of course, this is an analysis to some extent. If the war is launched in all directions, then the price paid by Cloud Shinobi Village will definitely not be small. It will be more troublesome if both lose. After all, the 5 great nations, the 5 great ninja villages have 3 other great nations besides the Thunder Country and the Fire Country. They would never watch Liangnan Village hit the final shot. But, there is a very crucial point. That is Konoha absolutely dare not break the net with Cloud Shinobi Village. This is the reason why she stands here confidently. A small price can be paid in exchange for peace. This is what Konoha wants to do for all Hokage, including the former first Hokage Senju Hashirama. Yes, it is clearly written in the historical documents of Cloud Shinobi Village. At the beginning, the legendary and powerful ninja god chose to bow his head on the conference table for peace. First-generation Xiangying could only sneer at this, but coveting Senju's strength, he promised a short-term peace. And looking at the one of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the proper one is conservative. Therefore, her condition will be met by the other party. The corpse of the patriarch of the Hyuga clan. If Hokage disagrees, then I can tell you the decision of Cloud Shinobi Village straightforwardly on behalf of Master Raikage. Go to war. With Konoha, with the Hyuga clan. I never die. Go to war, said simply and neatly. But Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart fell to the bottom. Danzo's eyes flickered, and he didn't know what he was thinking. On one side is the Hyuga clan. On one side is Konoha's peace. There was a dead silence in the office. For a long time, just when Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted to say something, Danzo suddenly stood up. We will communicate with the Hyuga clan about this matter. Please go back and wait for the news. Danzo. This tone is completely different from Danzo's always tough style. Sarutobi was stunned. Moreover, Danzo Sihei agreed to Cloud Shinobi Village's request? This. 3. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 206 Face. That thing Sarutobi has long been gone. What are you going to do? Mabui and other Cloud Shinobi Village envoys have left the Hokage office. And Sarutobi Hiruzen got up directly from the chair and walked in front of Danzo, looking straight at each other. Konoha just suffered a change not long ago. Your position as Naruto is not very safe. There are some ethnic groups that have to be beaten. Danzo was calm and sat on the sofa next to him and started to analyze Sarutobi Hiruzen. Don't you think that the conditions of Cloud Shinobi Village have not lost much to us? Loss. It only takes one person to die to solve a war. What a bargain business this is. To die alone is to die a pivotal person from the Hyuga clan. This coincides with their original idea: suppress the big family. Support the civilians, although the Hyuga clan has been very honest and regular since the establishment of Konoha. 1. It was also outstanding in the war, but the problem is still there. They are the Konoha Hao clan. If it is a wealthy clan, it is out of Konoha's control. No, it is the possibility of getting out of the control of oneself and others. Especially the blood of Byakugan, which is extremely precious. It is necessary to beat them to ensure that Byakugan, only Konoha can have it. Not to understand that the Hyuga clan compromised and handed over a person to maintain Konoha's stability, which is good for everyone. If you can't see the reason and choose to resist, Konoha's attitude towards the Hyuga clan will become the same as that of the Uchiha clan in the future. Even the Uchiha clan, they dare to drive them directly from the center of Konoha to the edge of the village, let alone Hyuga. So this is what Danzo said: there is not much loss for them. 9-2. There is a problem. Sarutobi unconsciously clicked on his pipe and took a sip. Face. Danzo looked at his old buddy calmly. What he wanted to say, Danzo could see from the posture of the cigarette lighter. As for the face, you don't want it anyway. Why bother with this question? Standing up, Danzo walked towards the office door step by step and paused before leaving. Sarutobi. This is also a good way to tap the Uchiha clan from the side to warn them. Think about it for yourself. You can, but it is not necessary. For Konoha, Sarutobi believes that everything he does is for the stability and balance of the village. As long as it is for the village, it can't be considered shameless. So at this point he can naturally ignore Danzo's cynicism. And by sacrificing one person, you can save the village from distress. This kind of awe-inspiring thing, the Hyuga clan only has the choice to suffer. As long as it is low-key enough, you may be able to keep your face. It's Danzo's last words, the Uchiha clan. Sarutobi squinted his eyes and took another big pipe. Since that group was forced to move away from Konoha, it hasn't stopped. Friction occurs every day. Even the guards will take the initiative to provoke trouble. Beating is inevitable for the stability and peace of the village. It is no big deal to sacrifice Hyuga. Even Sarutobi thought again, why Cloud Shinobi Village does not want the corpse of the chief of the Uchiha clan. If it is like this, maybe more things can be planned. Boom, the office door closed. Sarutobi walked to the office window and looked out at the scenery. He is Konoha's third Hokage, the strongest Naruto. It is his duty to guard the village. On the premise of guarding, sacrifice is also inevitable. Danzo gave him a choice. He also knows how to choose. Hyuga Hiyashi. Hope, you can also know how to choose. This is the village's decision. Of course, it's not forcing you if you disagree. Hyuga family land. Under the banner of comforting Hyuga Hiyashi, Sarutobi came here in the dark. But without waiting for a few words, Sarutobi said the conditions of Cloud Shinobi Village. Only half of the speech, let the person in front of you figure out the rest. This is the method used by the upper class looking at the Hokage-sama in front of him in a daze. Hyuga Hiyashi's eyes are full of cows. His words are very gentle and kind, but the meaning in the words makes people feel the cold of winter. Not forcing you. If you disagree, what follows is that Konoha will definitely not choose to stand on the same line as the Hyuga clan and then do everything. Lee and the Hyuga clan guard Konoha, and Cloud Shinobi Village is dead. If it is the first generation or the second generation, those omitted, it should be no doubt. Yes, third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, only one omitted. That is to take tough measures. Hyuga Hiyashi is not a fool. He has always taken a conservative attitude, licking the dog, treating himself as a member of Konoha, and guarding him. Hyuga Hiyashi of the first family sees more than others. The Senju clan said that they were integrated into Konoha, but the person who blended in did not see the strength that the so-called Senju family should have. Senju's last name has disappeared. But why? Senju disappeared. Hyuga Hiyashi understands very well, that clan is too prestigious. Hitaki Shuo Mao. The sword skills are terrifying, and the prestige is even higher. But such people choose to commit suicide. Under the serene Konoha, there is a deeper darkness hidden. The management of the clan is much different from the management of the village, but Hyuga Hiyashi also understands that the darkness is inevitable. Indispensable existence. I also understand that third generation sometimes has to do that. But when disaster strikes the Hyuga clan, what should I do? Hyuga Hiyashi can't even say a word. Keep oneself safe and conscientious. For Konoha, he tried his best and charged forward. It was never as high profile as the Uchiha clan. The Hyuga clan went through fire and water for Konoha, but in the end it was not the guardian of the village? Then what is it that the blood and life they have paid in the past are guarded by it? Keep talking about protecting Konoha and protecting the village. But isn't the Hyuga clan a part of Konoha? These words suddenly appeared in Hyuga Hiyashi's mind, but wanted to say it, but he was stuck. I can't express my throat. Dare he say it? Dare not. Fear. I'm afraid that these inner thoughts will be spoken out, and within a few days the disaster of the Hyuga clan will come. Free riding in the spacious reception room was extremely silent. The honor of receiving Hokage has disappeared without a trace. Give you 3 days to think about it. Our Hyuga clan not only has a clan family, but also a branch house. But you don't have to be depressed. By Jing, you. Looking at the other person, Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed. Doesn't the seal on your brother's forehead exist because of this? The mission of branch house, just want to start something. After speaking, Sarutobi Hiruzen left the room directly. Has the seal of the branch house been revealed? This Naruto-sama really understands the Hyuga clan. Hyuga Hiyashi gave a wry smile, but sighed. How does he choose? Does he have a choice? The disaster for the Hyuga clan has come. But Hyuga Hiyashi never expected this as just the beginning. Early the next morning, a piece of news suddenly spread from the villagers' word of mouth, and it was confirmed. The content of the message is nothing else. It's what Sarutobi Hiruzen and Hyuga Hiyashi said last night. Konoha village wanted the patriarch of the Hyuga clan to commit suicide, and then send his body to the messenger group of Cloud Shinobi village to pray for peace. There are even rumors. Naruto unexpectedly forced the opponent to compromise with the posture of the superior. No one knows the source of the news. No one knows why the news spread so fast. For the first time in Konoha's history, those opaque darkness appeared in the villagers' vision. Eat melon. There are some worries. Fortunately, I am not a member of the big clan. I am fortunate that I do not have a special blood inheritance boundary. But no one stood up to fight the injustice for the Hyuga clan. The most frightening thing is that some villagers are still booing and asking why Hyuga Hiyashi is still alive. Traded his death for peace. There is no sense of humiliation. He even hoped that the other party died quickly and sent away those plague gods in Cloud Shinobi village. This is the truth. In this world, not everyone is full of sunshine. Not everyone thinks from the perspective of others. For the entire Konoha village, there is little harm in having this mentality. But in the Uchiha clan, there is a boy full of like-minded. 3 years have passed since the Nine Tails chaos. He has graduated from the ninja school ahead of time. After several missions, he has been. Death turned on Sharingan. I once held the young Sasuke crying and told my brother that he would also experience this kind of pain in the future. But now he has already joined Anbu, playing an important role in Kakashi's team, of course. It's more of inquiring high-level information as a spy. Itachi, what are you worried about? The clan will start as usual, and everyone is talking about the disaster of the Hyuga clan. Some tribesmen who were gloating for misfortune were actually clapping their hands in applause. Seeing such a scene, Fugaku sighed with a sullen face and finally turned his eyes to his son. I'm thinking about it. If one day, people in other shinobi village will follow the example of Cloud Shinobi village and force the village to surrender his father. Your corpse, how will you choose then? I'm also thinking about how I will choose then. Rejoice will always bring something extraordinary. Itachi's hair quality has determined the extraordinariness of this young man. Such a rebellious remark was naturally said, but the content is extremely real. The language is amazing, but this is where he is confused. If it is to protect the village, take the initiative to choose to sacrifice a person in the village. Then this person, Is it still a protected member? This is one thing he didn't consider in the original book. Because Konoha didn't rebel against Shinobu with 2 swords at that time, everyone who didn't pass the story knew it. Even the Uchiha clan did not hold clan meetings for this reason. Thinking about it, Fugaku nodded, it's Hyuga. But next time, it might really be the turn of the Uchiha clan. It's ridiculous. Ms. Minato. Father. Somewhere in Konoha, Kakashi, who is in love with heaven, glanced at 4th generation on Hokage Rock. Yan Yan showed a touch of sarcasm. It really seems to show you, the village you guard, the person you guard. What has become of it now? Proactively compromise and sacrifice people in the village in exchange for peace. Is this really peace? When he looked at Konoha from the perspective of an onlooker, Kakashi discovered that things he hadn't noticed before were magnified infinitely. After that child's words are magnified hypocritical village. Keep the peace on the surface total 4th Hokage. Apart from this 3rd generation, no one will choose to compromise. I would rather go to war than exchange this humiliating way for peace. But he just did so. Funny and very real. Sometimes Kakashi even thinks. Why is it not Sarutobi Hiruzen who uses the ghoul seal? Can't open the adamantine sealing chains created by Kushina before his death? What a joke. Ning's wishful golden cudgel can pull the tail directly from the east side of the village to outside the west side of the village, and cannot be opened. Seal? Can't you die with 9 tails in the first place? Impossible. You just don't want to die. Pity. The person who died in the end was his teacher and his wife. At this moment, Kakashi became a truly solitary person. He has no drive except to inquire about the real inside story of his father's death. Why is this? Inside a hotel in Konoha, Kenpachi calmly ate the 0.8 lunch Azuki Yuyan personally fed him and then glanced at it. Fang is a little mad, Namikaze Minato walking back and forth. Unexpectedly, face, Sarutobi Hiruzen has long been gone. After eating, Kenpachi sneered. The most humiliating moment in Konoha's history, Minato finally caught up. And still in this village, watching this scene helplessly. He is very angry. I really want to ask 3rd generation in person, what is the mission of the film? Pity. Kenpachi hasn't agreed with his approach for the time being. Why is this? Minato looked back, his eyes filled with confusion. It seems to be asking myself, and it seems to be asking Kenpachi. Isn't Konoha always like this? Kenpachi said dismissively. That's right. The news was made public by Kenpachi. He wanted to show Konoha's people, it's a critical juncture, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's choice. What is it? Well, did not expect. The stupid Konoha civilians chose to gloat. This thing, he didn't really think about it. Maybe those civilians don't understand. In fact, it is these big clans that make up Konoha's important backbone. If the big clan falls one after another, Konoha, nothing. They just follow Sarutobi's thoughts blindly, but this kind of gloating, Kenpachi would have liked to see it. Because of this, all the pressure is concentrated on the Hyuga clan. Even Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo would think it was Hyuga Hiyashi who spread the news to reach the top of the face. He should be sitting on pins and needles now? Well, it probably won't be long before the 3 daddy calls. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 207 then. Ruined Konoha. The conditions of Cloud Shinobi Village have spread throughout Konoha. The atmosphere in the whole village suddenly became weird. The high levels are deliberately controlling, but the fishing boat steering does not mean that it can be controlled by control, and it is still under the condition that they don't know where the news comes from. And at this sensitive time, if the high-level performance is too tough, it will let Cloud Shinobi Village's envoys have other ideas. So for now, Sarutobi is silent about the rumors in the village. The reason is also very simple. When he heard that some villagers even wanted Hyuga Hiyashi to make a decision sooner, or even die sooner, he suddenly laughed. Once, there was one person who died in the same way. Hitaki Tsukumo. This situation is similar to the original situation. Konoha's atmosphere is strange, but the entire Hyuga clan is basically angry in their hearts. Who released the news? Hyuga clan land. 1. The clan club is opening as usual. Hyuga Hiyashi sat on the top and closed his eyes without speaking. Instead, it was his younger brother, Hyuga Neji's older brother, Hyuga Hizashi, staring at the people below and asking. The tribesmen looked at each other and could only shake their heads to show that they didn't know. Really, this incident is what the Hyuga clan suffered, and this kind of thing can be said to be a rare event in a century. How could the Hyuga clan, who cares for their faces, take the initiative to stab this matter out? The weird atmosphere in the silence makes people feel instinctively depressed. Hizashi, forget it. After a long time, Hyuga Hiyashi shook his hair and let out a sigh. The world is scorching. Now in the whole village, no one even stands up to say something for the Hyuga clan. Even for fear of getting involved with the Hyuga clan. This is the truth. When one animal can protect more people, most people choose the former. And if the Hyuga clan also agrees with this idea, that is the saddest place. Was beaten. The first thing I think about is not to fight back, but you beat me, what should I do to not be beaten by you again? You're good. Give you everything you want, just don't hit me. This is Konoha. It is also the idea of contemporary Hokage at this moment. Sorrow. Brother, we have to do something. 07. When Hazashi walked to Hyuga Hiyashi, the worry on his face was not fake. They are brothers. Even if Hyuga Hazashi resents the clan, this kind of brotherhood cannot be ignored. That's right. He wanted to take action against Hinata several times because of the resentment and dissatisfaction in his heart. He was also in pain by Hyuga Hiyashi using Caged Bird to teach him. One code can be converted to one code. When there is a crisis in the clan family, as a branch house member, he will protect the clan family as defiantly as other branch house members. How to make noise within a clan is the matter of the clan. And now, it's the external pressure that is falling on the Hyuga clan. What must be done? Hazashi, can't you tell? Hyuga Hiyashi gave a wry smile and shook his head. The rumors in the village are so fierce, but the senior management has already acquiesced in this kind of information transmission. What does this mean? I even think that it is the news released by the high-level person himself. The purpose is to force me to make a choice. The news released by the senior management. Hyuga Hazashi was taken aback, and suddenly felt that the eldest brother's words also made sense. That's right. If it weren't for the high-level intentions, how could those rumors be so unbearable? Someone even said that the patriarch of the Hyuga clan should die sooner. His death is worthwhile. Fart. If other shinobu villages follow suit for the peace gained by this method, what should Konoha do then? It's ridiculous that the people of the big clans didn't see this clearly. This time it is the Hyuga clan, what about next time? Squinting his eyes, Hyuga Hazashi suddenly approached his elder brother and whispered a word. Big brother, it's better, it's the other way around. Different from the clan. The branch house of the Hyuga clan, because of the limitation of Caged Bird, always has the potential for neuropathy. Fighting against fate, he was slapped back again and again by fate's big mouth. This is the fate of Hyuga branch house. But it is this kind of inner struggle that makes them want to break through the current situation. Even when Hyuga Hazashi said the 3 words in reverse, I never thought it would be so big. But when these 3 words were finished, the excitement that came up in my heart suddenly made Hyuga Hazashi scared himself. Are you crazy? Hyuga Hiyashi was taken aback, looking at her brother always felt a little strange. Use an ethnic group to resist a village. Hyuga Hiyashi can't choose adventure. I know. Hyuga Hazashi sighed. With a little depression in his eyes, he thought of his caged bird. It seems that there is only one way to go. Big brother. Help me take care of Neji. When he grows up, help me tell him that this is my own choice as a branch house. At least, I can choose once. Slowly remove the forehead protector from the top of the head, the seal on it looks so mocking. Hazashi, what are you going to do? Suddenly, Hyuga Hiyashi squeezed Hyuga Hazashi's arm. Brother, at least let your brother be free once before he dies. With a smile, Hyuga Hazashi broke away from his brother's hand, stood up and walked out. The destiny of branch house. Didn't you die just for the clan? The persecution of the high-level Konoha. The villagers, rumors. The Hyuga clan swayed like falling leaves in the wind. Rebel 1. That's just a talk. With the strength of the Hyuga clan, there is no way to break through Konoha's cage.
That's right. The village and the seal on the forehead are nothing more than cages. The free bird flying in the sky is just a joke. Caged bird? What an appropriate sealing technique. The current situation is clear. It's impossible to resist. It's like the fate of the branch house, even if it's the clan of the Hyuga clan. There is no way to resist Konoha, and as the younger brother of the older brother, he looks similar to the older brother. It's probably the only way to die instead of the Hyuga clan's clan. And many more. Just when he was about to leave and wanted to take a look at his son for the last time. Suddenly Hyuga Hiyashi shouted, and stopped his younger brother who was drifting away. Looking back, Hyuga Hazashi met the big brother's decisive face. Go down first, Hyuga Nishiyama, and call Hinata by the way. Waved to the bitter-faced people below, Hyuga Hiyashi took a deep breath. Big brother, Hyuga Hazashi was puzzled. Your own death is the only way to protect the Hyuga clan and Konoha. What else is your brother? There is still a way. Hyuga Hiyashi's eyes burned suddenly at the thought of something. No one wants to be aggrieved forever. The attitude of the high level, the attitude of the villagers, everything made him understand how the world is hot and cool. What to write? 5 minutes later, the tribe has left the yard. And Hyuga Hiyashi and Hyuga Hazashi are discussing something. Hinata was guarding her little hand rigidly next to her. Can this work, brother? After hearing what Hyuga Hiyashi said, Hyuga Hazashi's face was tangled. I can only try to see if that kid has any way to deal with it. Hyuga Hiyashi didn't know what to do, and finally turned his attention to his daughter. Yi Bajian. My daughter is still related to Yi Bajian. Hinata, you repeat. What did that man say? With a solemn expression, Hyuga Hiyashi asked. Without further ado. Most of the thinking time given by the senior management has passed. If there is no way to deal with it by then, Konoha will take coercive measures. Hyuga Hiyashi knew what the so-called coercive measures were.
If he can't help his younger brother, then the senior management will help him. This world is so realistic. What? Hinata was a little nervous when he was looked at by his father this way for the first time. The night Kenpachi has come. If you have something that you can't solve and make you feel uncomfortable, you can say 3 times to Dad in the yard. At that time he will show up. Call Dad 3 times. Is it possible that he is really his grandfather? Hinata's face is slightly red. I was saved by my grandpa. Yi Bajian, Yi Kenpachi? Hyuga Hizashi was taken aback, and there seemed to be something wrong with the name. When he left the Nine Tails Chaos last time, he said he had changed his name to Yi Kenpachi. Hyuga Hiyashi nodded in agreement. Do you want to go to the doctor for a sudden illness? It is not uncommon for such people to enter Konoha freely. After all, he was so cruel that he killed the Sarutobi and Shimura clan alone. But this kind of thing called Dad, is it somewhat? No solution anymore. For the Hyuga clan, I can only call it. Before, when Hinata just came back, he didn't take Hinata's words seriously. But combined with the changes made in Konoha village in the past few days, he found that the man seemed to have known something. In the same way, it can be seen that he is also prepared for this kind of thing and finally mustered up the courage. Hyuga Hiyashi walked into the courtyard step by step. The hope of the family. Is it on that man? This is the last attempt. In Konoha, they have no capital to resist. Dad. 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 3 times Dad resounded in the yard. From the awkwardness and humiliation at the beginning, to the grandeur at the end. Hyuga Hiyashi's mood has also undergone subtle changes. Big brother. Hyuga Hizashi gritted his teeth, but his eyes were filled with admiration. No one knows how strong his elder brother is better than him. Such a person can be humbled to such an extent. What a determination is that. Needless to say, for the sake of the family, there is nothing you can't put down. Die. And Hizashi, no elder brother will watch his younger brother die. Honor and family affection. Hyuga Hiyashi, who yelled his father 3 times, suddenly discovered that the so-called power, the so-called, shook his head. It's not that important compared to seemingly flat. Originally, he was holding Uzumaki sunflowers and Uzumaki bloggers when he was old. I can't understand it now. He has gradually understood a little. Something in the flat. The new world is after you leave it. It just went down 3 times. The courtyard is still empty. The expected arrival of the hero did not appear. Sure enough, was it just the man who said casually? Hyuga Hiyashi sighed. Brother, that said, help me take care of Neji. Hyuga Hizashi walked to his elder brother and patted him on the shoulder. And big brother. Looking into Hyuga Hiyashi's eyes, Hyuga Hizashi smiled. I don't conceive you. I never conceive you, nor resent you. I just don't want to be a caged bird. Snapped. Holding his brother's hand again, Hyuga Hiyashi also smiled. Brother, you know what I mean by calling Hinata. The same words will be given to you. Take care of Hinata for me, thank you. What a touching brotherhood. Between life and death, do you understand life? It now appears that the patriarch of the Hyuga clan is not hopeless. Come in and talk. A voice came from the room behind the two. When they turned their heads in surprise, they found that the not-so-tall boy was sitting calmly in the room on the 763 floor with Hinata. Obviously, he has watched Hyuga Hiyashi and Hyuga Hizashi for a long time. Knight Kenpachi. Konoha's 2 swords betray Shinobu. Defeated hundreds of Anbu by himself. The Nine Tails Chaos killed hundreds of people from the Sarutobi clan and Shimura clan, and then left Konoha with the corpse of Namikaze Minato. Come yet? Taking a deep breath, Hyuga Hiyashi gave his brother a wink, and the two walked into the room. The other party hugs Hinata. Do you want to threaten yourself or something? Sitting in front of Kenpachi, Hyuga Hiyashi narrowed his eyes. Put away your ridiculous thoughts. Kenpachi took a sip of his wine calmly and said, if I want to do something, I can't keep it up with the two of you. Chian the 2 Zanpakuto slid behind Kenpachi and plunged into the fragile floor. Control the sword in the air. In addition to Kenpachi, Orochimaru will also do this trick. But he knows better than Orochimaru. Can't the bar stop? Hyuga Hiyashi smiled wryly. I really can't stop it. The Lord Rebellion in front of him should be the most arrogant rebellion. Getting in and out of Konoha is a commonplace meal, and it's fine to teach Konoha's new generation. According to Hinata, the few who bullied his daughter were smashed and never seen again. He specifically inquired about them. At this moment, they were still unconscious in the hospital. What a cruel method. It's like a qualified rebel. But, Your Excellency Kenpachi, can I ask you a question? Calming down, Hyuga Hiyashi stared at Kenpachi and said, why do you want to help the Hyuga clan? As far as I know, the Hyuga clan has nothing to do with you. Yes. This question, before going into formal discussions on how to break the situation, he would like to know. Why? Kenpachi raised his brows, and the corners of his mouth curled up. Leave this question aside for now. I want to ask you a question. Konoha treats you like this, and the civilians you have fought so hard to protect treat you like this. Then you, why did you choose to be a dog for Konoha? Why did you choose Konoha as a dog? This problem. The problem is more profound than Hyuga Hiyashi's. That's right. Hyuga Hiyashi once felt that everything was worth it. Protecting Konoha at the price of blood, in exchange for the status of the Hyuga clan. But now he understands those are fake. People will rebel and betray. The Hokage who had said to protect Konoha wanted to sacrifice him. But he is also a member of Konoha. Forget it, I'm not in the mood for Kabuto Circle. Purpose. Probably I want to have you stand on the opposite side of Konoha like me someday in the future. Then, ruined Konoha. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 208 I killed him. Are you sure you were upset? The attack seems to be a little bit stronger. After saying what he wanted to say, Kenpachi glanced at Hyuga Hiyashi, who was in a daze, and Hyuga Hizashi, who was somewhat at a loss. Really, they have existed in Konoha for decades. With this land, this village cannot give up feelings. Therefore, even if the higher-ups did too much and the villagers pointed them, they still did not choose to fight for their fate. Because once you do that, it means to oppose your former home. Destroy Konoha. These 4 words sound frightening. For a long while, Hyuga Hiyashi sighed and gave his answer. This condition, please forgive me for not being able to agree to it. The expected answer. Kenpachi nodded. In fact, if the other party agrees directly, it is a ghost. Although this village has become rotten to a certain extent, there are always people who jump out to protect it in their own way, regardless of their lives. He knew where the feeling of desperation came from. First Hokage Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara established Konoha, allowing dozens of families to warm up from the war and unite with each other to protect themselves. They don't want to return to the state of strife during the Sengoku period. This is the root cause. Not to mention how the village treats them, what the Hyuga clan sees as the stability of living in Konoha. Konoha means that they are not mourners with this village, there is the last safe haven. Most people basically have this mentality. Compared with the former, the Hyuga clan has no guarantee on the latter, but even so, they cannot make the decision to destroy Konoha. Therefore, Kenpachi was not surprised by the answer given by Hyuga Hiyashi. A simple example is sufficient to explain why Hyuga Hiyashi chose to refuse. That is Uchiha Madara. Before I decided to find a way to truly bring peace to the world, I wanted to leave Konoha and stand on my own. Madara started a clan meeting. The purpose of that clan association was to take the whole Uchiha away. But in the end, basically no one agreed. They have long been soaked in Konoha's easy days, and they have forgotten the blow to the Uchiha clan. To know, the person who said this is Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara, who led the Uchiha clan to shine during the Sengoku period. His prestige is absolutely no one higher than him in the whole Zebo clan. But even he did not convince the Uchiha clan. In the end, Uchiha suffered from the consequences and destroyed the clan when he could only choose to rebel. Uchiha genocide incident, not all responsibility lies with Uchiha. Even Itachi in the original book said that it is a problem left by history. After all, people cannot be honest with each other and understand each other. The first thing that cannot be honest with each other is Konoha's second Hokage Senju. During his reign, he made great contributions to Konoha, but Uchiha was the only one who was suppressed too much. The 4 words, things must be reversed, are most suitable for Uchiha. Rebellion also appeared logically. Well, I didn't hear your answer for the time being. After taking a calm sip, Kenpachi slowly let go of Hinata, leaving Hyuga Hiyashi with a weird smile. Perhaps I should be euphemistic, such as replacing Konoha with the decay left by history, and then rebuilding Konoha to create an absolutely fair system. If I say this, you should accept it. Walking to Hyuga Hiyashi's side, Kenpachi's expression still made the opponent unpredictable. It can be replaced by reconstruction, but Hyuga Hiyashi's expression shines brightly. If you can. But, Kang. As soon as the conversation turned, the Zanpakuto, which had been inserted into the ground, fell into Kenpachi's hands, and the boy turned his head towards Hyuga Hiyashi. It's a pity, I don't say that, and I don't like being called a father for no reason. Well, it's all a little gift as an old father, I hope you like it. Whoosh! The figure of the young man disappeared instantly. There are only 2 brothers who can't figure it out in the room, and Hyuga Hinata who doesn't understand Kenpachi's words at all. Brother, what does he mean? Hyuga Hizashi swallowed. I don't know. A trace of sweat oozes from Hyuga Hiyashi's forehead. Just when the opponent picked up strength, he had the illusion that Kenpachi could kill himself in seconds. Is it an illusion or his strength has reached such a terrifying point? What happened? What is he going to do? Hyuga Hiyashi didn't know. But from the other party's words, he heard a bit of sarcasm. Seems flat. Is forcing myself to make a decision. But what kind of persecution did he use? Your own daughter? No, Hinata is extremely safe when he is in his arms, and the other party has no intention of doing anything. And also, that man knew how to say he would agree to cooperate. But he just didn't do that, and deliberately said things like destroying Konoha. Such a scary man. The night shrouded. Outside Konoha's high-end lodging, a few Anbu ninjas hide in the corner, guarding Cloud Shinobi. The safety of the village envoys. They were secretly protected by 3rd generation. More it is to monitor each other. The Hyuga clan thing happened, but it will stop here. As Konoha's third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen is able to move rot, but he is not so stupid. In order to ensure that this situation will not be posted again in the future, he intends to monitor Cloud Shinobi Village's actions at all times. Otherwise, if this happens again such things, Konoha still chooses to compromise, I am afraid that time. All bloodline races in Konoha village are at risk. Losing a Hyuga is enough. When Konoha recovers, there is no need to fear that someone will follow this example and threaten the village. This is the plan of third generation, but he didn't know. Someone will choose to help him if he is so cruel. The crow flew overhead, heralds the imminent disaster. Accompanied by the smell of blood and screams, the moon in the sky was also stained with blood. Disaster is coming. When the Anbu ninja who was changing shift arrived and found the corpses all over the floor, he let out a terrible cry of horror. Sarutobi. Boom. The Sarutobi family. No, now there is only one complete room left on the land. That's Sarutobi Hiruzen's home. The whole family was deserted, and Sarutobi, who had just smoked a bag of cigarettes, was still brewing sleepiness, and the door of the room was pushed open mercilessly. However, it is slightly embarrassing that under normal circumstances, the method of sleeping after the wife's death has become a bit single. A Sarutobi, who doesn't want to restring at his age, has put his hand on his gun. Whether you want it or not has not been decided yet. But Danzo's arrival made Sarutobi's old face suddenly reddened, and finally recovered his ready-to-go posture. Danzo, what are you doing? Putting on his clothes, Sarutobi's face was angry. This is my home. It doesn't matter if you don't knock at the office, and don't knock after you come home. What's the meaning? So if I don't put this Naruto in my eyes, Danzo wants to rebel. No time for nonsense, come with me. Danzo pulled Sarutobi coldly and rushed out. After a few minutes the two of them fell on the ground in the high-end residence that had been sealed off by Anbu. When Sarutobi saw the situation in front of him, his head buzzed and he collapsed to the ground. It's over. Into the eyes is a mess, blood, messy, incomplete body. And the broken Cloud Shinobi Village forehead protector only explains one thing. The mission of Cloud Shinobi Village was killed and the methods are extremely cruel. Master Naruto, Master Danzo. Whoosh. A figure fell on his knees in front of the two. Except for Mabui, the bodies of all the members of the Cloud Shinobi Village mission group have been found. Without exception, all are fatal. A knife is deadly. Suddenly, Sarutobi seemed to think of something. Cloud Shinobi Village's mission to Konoha is not very bad. Could it be that he was the ninja who was able to kill them all in Anbu's short shift time, and who used the sword? Yi Kenpachi? This situation and situation are very similar to the way their own people died during the Nine Tails chaos. Besides him, the old man can't think of anyone else. But Sarutobi. Danzo only narrowed his exposed eyes. Now think about who killed them. Righteous man died in Konoha. People die in Konoha. This is the most important. There were already several people who died in the hands of Hyuga Hiyashi in the messenger group of Cloud Shinobi Village. If Hyuga Hiyashi's life can be used to make up for it, the current situation may be even worse. The representative of the Cloud Shinobi Village mission group has disappeared. All the others were killed. If this matter is not handled well, I am afraid that war will not be far away. How to do? For a moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen was in a trance. He had no idea that things would turn out to be what it is today. Go to war? For a long time, Sarutobi spit out two words weakly. I still try my best to capture Yi Kenpachi and send him to Cloud Shinobi Village to make up for the mistake. Go back and talk. In this world, even if it becomes Renenbu, it will still be labeled as the original Shinobu Village. For example, if Konoha's traitor kills Raikage's younger brother Killer B, then Raikage will transfer the anger to Konoha. Then Konoha was harmed by the revengeful Cloud Shinobi Village, and the war followed. As it is now, they call me Konoha's Sword Rebellion. Now, I have killed all the messengers in Cloud Shinobi Village except you. This account is. At the same time, my head will be counted on Konoha's head. It is still that mysterious room. Kenpachi sat calmly in front of Izabui, who had a delicate look and healthy skin, and defended it very casually. Holds the opponent's chin. To be honest, she is very feminine. Even Kenpachi wanted to try it, although only 10 years old. But for men, everything can be used. This woman is not bad, can use Tiansong technique proficiently, and seems to be Tien's secretary. As long as you change your mind, you will be more than enough to serve as an assistant and part-time maid in the future. But the premise is, he needs absolute loyalty. Loyalty with both body and soul. She was in fear. I have witnessed the brutality of this man when he kills, and now he can easily handle it. What to do, isn't it obvious? Kenpachi gave a playful smile and pointed to Asabui's face. Aren't you afraid to continue the Third Ninja World War because of your actions? Mabui gritted his teeth. As a ninja, especially a female ninja. This day may have been anticipated a long time ago. But what she fears is the strong Yamato ambition of this man. There are also resolute and cruel things that mortals don't possess. Cloud Shinobi Village mission kill if you say it. He didn't even conceal his fighting style. If she was Yi Kenpachi, even if she did such a thing, she would definitely pretend to be Konoha's hands. This will not only cause the two sides to fight in Ninja Village, but also retreat completely. But Kenpachi didn't. He even announced with great fanfare that he did it. Please put this account on his head. Oh. Simply nodded to Azabui. Kenpachi frowned. Then I am honored to be the one who continues the third ninja war. Madman. You are a total lunatic. Azabui yelled hoarsely. This kind of people who are proud of starting a war are crazy. A madman? Thank you for the title, but the crazier ones are still to come. Well, please bear with the emotion that Shion has been teasing about these days. Your night has just begun. Tearing, how about the king? Something see the latest shattered, quiet, night. Kenpachi had a very fulfilling life. 300 but for everyone at the top of Konoha, no one can close their eyes. They dare not. Because they were afraid, the first word they heard when they woke up was that Cloud Shinobi Village had already hit. How to do? No one knows. Why do you do this? So it was noon. Kenpachi was sitting in the yard basking in the sun, while Azabui, who looked dull beside him, shook the fan in his hand. Child provides coolness to Kenpachi. In front of him, Konoha's yellow glitter looked at Kenpachi with a complicated face. He already knew the news that the Cloud Shinobi Village messenger group was killed. Konoha's executives tried their best to blockade, but they couldn't stand it. It was the same as Cloud Shinobi Village threatening Konoha. 8 passed to every corner of the village, but this time. People didn't even cheer yes. Very strange servile thoughts. When someone threatens you and asks you to surrender someone, you happily agree. Because of his death in exchange for peace, but now, someone gave them a sigh of relief, but they became frightened and resentful. Kenpachi swears that someone must be scolding him. Pat your heart. Kenpachi reached out his finger and pointed at Namikaze Minato's chest. I killed him. Are you sure you are upset? Certainly. People who scold him are not uncommon. For example, Namikaze Minato. At least Konoha still has a few disgusting actions against the Cloud Shinobi Village who was riding on her neck and shit. More disgusting existence. Cool? Minato gave a wry smile. Being threatened, and hitting back with his head raised, this kind of thing is indeed very happy. But what's next? What about Cloud Shinobi Village's revenge? Your pleasure, let Konoha pay the bill. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 209 A good show is on stage, a village rotten to the bones. Konoha's situation is even more chaotic. The ninjas are extremely worried about the future situation. Even the ignorant villagers know that the messenger group of Cloud Shinobi Village means nothing in Konoha. Negotiation is impossible. The life of the patriarch of the Hyuga clan will not satisfy Cloud Shinobi Village either. How should the top management solve the current dilemma? What the hell is going to do? The calm village adds more haze. Relatively speaking, the atmosphere in the Hyuga clan is much more relaxed than before. All the members of the Cloud Shinobi Village mission group are dead. So Hyuga Hiyashi naturally didn't need to commit suicide to give his life to the opponent. That's a good thing for them. And watching the villagers in the village worry, they suddenly felt a different kind of pleasure. Didn't you gloat before? Now the disaster of the whole piece is about to come, and avoiding can no longer solve the problem. Compared to the loss of the patriarch, the current situation is much better than before. 1. But this matter, Hyuga Hiyashi understands better than the people thought. It seems that the problem has been solved, but if you think about it at a deeper level, the family at this moment has already stepped into the abyss. The reason is simple. The messenger group of Cloud Shinobi Village is destroyed. The senior management hasn't given an explanation yet, and ordinary people don't know who did it. Hyuga Hiyashi and the executives understand in their hearts that this is what Kenpachi did. But if you look at it from the eyes of ordinary people, Konoha hates the Cloud Shinobi Village delegation the most. It is the Hyuga clan. Then someone who is interested will forcefully associate the destruction of the Cloud Shinobi Village delegation with the Hyuga clan. There may be some rumors in the village at that time. You know, the Hyuga clan was dissatisfied with Hokage's decision and killed all the envoys of Cloud Shinobi Village. The Hyuga clan wants to resist Konoha's decision. The Hyuga clan. Such rumors are definitely not few. Konoha is 100% able to do this kind of thing. And Hyuga Hiyashi, who has experienced the Konoha's White Fang Tooth incident, is very clear about the lethality of that kind of rumors. Face, high-level people don't want it. As long as you are shameless, you will be able to do this kind of thing. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen cannot guarantee it, but Danzo definitely has a way to connect the two things together and suppress the Hyuga clan. He is too familiar with this method. It was like the scene where Uchiha was forcibly arranged in the outer corner of the village after the 600 clan tail chaos. When assigning a new area to the village, he watched Danzo calmly decide at the conference table, but compared to the Uchiha clan. The fate of the Zebo clan, the land of the Hyuga clan, is not in the center of the village, it is exactly a corner of Konoha. From the position of their clan and the Uchiha clan, you can see how cautious the senior leaders are about the arrangements of the big clan. In the courtyard, Hyuga Hiyashi stared at the distant Hokage building with worry on his face. Senior, how will this matter be decided in the end? You go down first. In the Hokage office, the meeting that lasted all night finally ended. Sarutobi Hiruzen has bloodshot eyes, and his tired look makes him a little older. Waved to the person below, he leaned on Hokage's chair and closed his eyes. Discussed all night. But even Naruto, his right-hand man, the person with the highest IQ in Konoha, gave a solution that was not as perfect as imagined. This incident directly caused Cloud Shinobi Village to transfer its anger to Kenpachi. After the successful transfer, there are two solutions. First, talk to the needs of Cloud Shinobi Village, ask them about their conditions, and give them some acceptable compensation. Second, go to war. These are the two plans given by Naruto. But no matter which one, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't decide immediately. Because whether it was compensation or war, it was a disaster for Konoha. It was something that could be solved without expending so much energy, because the existence of Kenpachi made the price multiplied. After a long time, all the people below left. In the huge office, only Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo were left. There was a moment of silence. Finally, Sarutobi Hiruzen lit his big pipe and looked at his old man. Shimura Danzo. Sarutobi knows exactly what nature this person is. But even if you have a bad temperament and want to be a Hokage, it is very extreme, but sometimes you have to admit that the solution he gives is more direct. Also more decisive than myself. Do you have a way? I can only hope that he can give the answer. Sarutobi sighed. Cloud Shinobi Village wants Byakugan. Just give it to him. For them, just a few people died, Danzo said calmly. Is it still the requirement they mentioned earlier? Sarutobi frowned. But Danzo, the situation is different from before. They might ask for more. And it's not that easy to transfer anger. Why do you want to divert your anger? Danzo's exposed eyes showed a cold color. We don't need to do anything. And Sarutobi, remember that it was not Kenpachi who killed the Cloud Shinobi Village envoys, but the Hyuga clan. I need to let the people at Cloud Shinobi Village know this. What's the meaning? Sarutobi's staring boss. They know very well that the messengers were killed by the sword of Kenpachi. Why did they become the Hyuga clan? Could it be? Pour dirty water on them? What is the purpose? I think that is the solution. Didn't the rumors in the village have been reported before? The Hyuga clan was dissatisfied with Konoha's decision to take revenge on the Cloud Shinobi Village envoys and kill all peace envoys. Cloud Shinobi Village launched an attack on the land of the Hyuga clan after learning about it. From today, Konoha no longer has Hyuga. Danzo said in one breath. He wants to be white, and then calmly looks at Sarutobi Hiruzen, whose expression has changed. Look, the Hyuga clan's clanlands are also outside the village. Use, of course, if they need Konoha's assistance, they can. Whether you can get more depends on Cloud Shinobi Village itself. Snapped. Enough. Danzo. The desk shattered instantly. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was filled with anger. He understood Danzo's words thoroughly, and that is to expand the conditions of Cloud Shinobi Village before. The requirement of Cloud Shinobi Village is to bring the corpse of the head of the Hyuga clan back to Cloud Shinobi Village for research, then Danzo. Just give them a living person. Enlarge the things they want infinitely, to the point of the entire Hyuga clan. As for how much Byakugan blood can be obtained, it depends on Cloud Shinobi Village itself. I know what you are going to say. Danzo looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen coldly. Calm. But you also have to know that we cannot accept the two plans Naruto gave. Compensation. In the Third Ninja World War, Konoha was clearly the one who won, so why should we give it? Others compensate. If they really did that, why would Konoha still be called the first ninja village? As for the start of the war, you also know that Konoha is able to fight in the current situation, but it consumes too much. Otherwise, other ninja villages will not give up. I am afraid the Third Ninja War will continue. It's also bad for Konoha. It's good to leave the blood of the Hyuga clan, and we don't want to let the whole Hyuga go. But if you just sacrifice the Hyuga clan, the price will be much smaller. The Hyuga clan has only a few clan families. The branch house people are destined to not spread out Byakugan. Go. What we have to do is let Cloud Shinobi Village take the Byakugan blood succession boundary by itself, but we can't give them real. Positive Byakugan. Quote. Let Cloud Shinobi Village get Byakugan. As an enemy, Danzo is not so stupid. In this regard, the caged bird of the Hyuga family can play a big role. As long as the clan leaves one person, the rest AIBB will be killed and thrown to Cloud Shinobi Village. By then, the anger of Cloud Shinobi Village will also be vented, and all the people who killed the Cloud Shinobi Village envoys will be killed. The culprit, they have to think about the pros and cons if they want to continue the war. They are all one of the 5 big shinobi villages, and Raikage of Cloud Shinobi Village must also know how to attack Konoha's other shinobi villages. Will not sit idly by. For Konoha, the substantial loss is the Hyuga clan. But as long as one clan's blood is left, the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan can continue in Konoha. Go down. Even Konoha can create a Hyuga clan that is completely under his control, such a clan. It is much better than the nobles, handed down from the Sengoku period. There is no threat at all, Konoha's real lackey. These are all Danzo's ideas. The old man is for the village. Thinking about it this way, he didn't feel any guilt. At the moment, His thoughts are like the act of letting Itachi kill the entire Uchiha in the future. The dog's thinking never changes. What he thinks is that Konoha's center of power must still be in the hands of the top. Weaken the big clan, strengthen the small clan. The roots hidden in the ground, dark thoughts follow. Next, just read Sarutobi Hiruzen's answer. Certainly. Whether he agrees or not, Danzo will not sit still. The action has already begun. Before the meeting started last night, he had already sent someone to Raikage of Cloud Shinobi Village. If Raikage was not a fool, he would agree to this approach. That is the attraction of the entire Hyuga clan. During the war, the big bosses of Cloud Shinobi Village had eaten enough without the pain of the bloodline race. They definitely won't. But Danzo has already calculated it. As long as we don't let Cloud Shinobi get people from the Hyuga clan, then this action is just as simple. That's all. Absolutely not. Looking at Danzo coldly, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't agree with this approach in his heart. He is useless, but no matter how wasteful it is, this kind of behavior of sacrificing the entire Hyuga clan can never promise that it's no problem for just one person, because as long as he has the will of fire in his heart, he is even. He also chooses to sacrifice himself to save the village in critical moments. If Hyuga Hiyashi has this desire for protection, he will also agree with the previous practice. Can destroy the whole family. Then his sacrifice is completely meaningless. It's up to you, I just remind you. Danzo stood up slowly and looked directly into Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes. If Cloud Shinobi Village hits the door, there are more dead people than all the Hyuga clan combined. Also, you asked if I have a solution, not by myself. Countermeasures. The Hyuga clan, the village. Sarutobi glanced bitterly at the picture of second Hokage hanging on the office wall. How should he choose? Do not rule out this as a conspiracy. But if the old man is dispatched himself, even Konoha's conspiracy will be fearless. In the country of fire, hundreds of elite troops shuttled through the forest. And the cloak worn on the person who took the lead has proved his identity. Cloud Shinobi Village, 4th Raikage. But except for the Hyuga clan, Konoha, have you forgotten Mabuyi's sacrifice? A trace of anger flashed across his face, and the shadow speed increased again. He has received news from Danzo. But what Danzo never expected was that Raikage was there in person. According to the agreement in the letter, the position of the Hyuga clan has been accurately given. At that time, Cloud Shinobi Village can do whatever it wants. But how could it be the Hyuga clan that calmed the anger of the shadows? There is no doubt that Konoha was already extremely weak at this time. In that case, I don't know why, I have a bad feeling. The former Mitarashi home. Because of the defections of Kenpachi and Anko, this place has been allocated to others. Unfortunately, when Kenpachi arrived, they had become corpses on the ground. In this familiar yard, Kenpachi sat on a recliner and enjoyed the bloody corpses on the ground. The taste looks at the sky. And Azabuyi stood there with a trembling body beside him. Minato's words only shook his head and sighed at the Konoha shinobi who was on the ground. He is used to it. Over the years, there have been countless Konoha shinobi who died in Kenpachi's hands. Unlucky. Just now, Kenpachi was just a little nostalgic when he passed by his former home and wanted to miss it, but it happened that these people were discussing Kenpachi. That idiot Yi Bajian. The worst dead child on the ground, if I remember correctly, I heard him far away. This sentence is chanting. So his head is branch house. The strong can disdain others to discuss themselves. But Yi Kenpachi is different from others. Even if you are a dog, if you bite me, I will turn his head and bite the dog to death. Canthus is not his character, but his habitual style. Do whatever you want without being bound by the rules of this world. This is the Knight Kenpachi in Minato's impression. But, what is going on with Konoha's atmosphere? Minato frowned, always feeling that something big would happen. This is very similar to the feeling he gave him on the eve of the Nine Tails chaos. Calmness is. A good show is about to be staged. Kenpachi smiled. Unfortunately, Danzo's message to Cloud Shinobi Village was discovered by him. He really didn't expect that Danzo, who was already black and not clean, could prepare such a surprise for him. Originally, he still wondered if he could turn the Hyuga clan's minds around if he only started the war. Now, the emotion of being sold is enough to make the Hyuga clan understand that they can't continue to be. Otherwise, only to die. Sure enough, Konoha is still the same Konoha. The village is rotten to the bones. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 210. The past 3 years have been very hard, right? Big brother, can you believe this? Hyuga clan land. The atmosphere is still a bit weird. In the patriarch's yard, he finally meets his elder brother Hyuga Hiyashi. Oppositely, Hyuga Hazashi looked at the scroll in his hand and asked. Danzo. Gritting his teeth and holding his head, Hyuga Hiyashi was full of anger. The information in hand was naturally sent by Kenpachi. But the content above is shocking. Danzo actually decided to sacrifice the Hyuga clan to ensure Konoha's peace. Is his head filled with shit? Since the establishment of Konoha, the Hyuga clan has given Konoha much credit. Even Hyuga Hiyashi can pat his chest and say, from the first ninja war to the third ninja war. If it were not for the Hyuga clan, it would never have been so easy. And it is very likely that the third ninja war Konoha will end in a disastrous defeat. Winning the battle is the credit of the whole village. Their Byakugan has created countless battle environments for Konoha. How many Hyuga clan members are on the battlefield? Reconnaissance troops are not afraid of death to send intelligence. 1. Now, he wants to sacrifice Hyuga because of threats from other villages. Will you kill the donkey just after victory? This approach is chilling. Brother, I think even if it is true, Master Third Generation may not agree. Looking at the hideous face of the older brother, Hyuga Hazashi swallowed and said. Fart. Third Generation. If he is useful, will Fourth Generation die? Quote. Hyuga Hiyashi hit the ground with a punch, and the cracked floor tiles resembled his cracked heart. Nine-Tails Chaos understands everything. Everyone is very surprised that fourth Hokage, not third Hokage, died. Can the people of the old age get into the soil earlier? Why ruin the village? Why does unloading Naruto have any points in his heart? Third generation is useful, will fourth generation die? Really. Although there are some usefulness, his existence has reduced the loss of the village a lot, but the actual effect. No one saw it. It was fourth generation who died. He did not expect that he directly arranged for himself to be reinstated. Hyuga Hiyashi understands that. Now that Danzo said, he will definitely do something. As for whether third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen can stop Danzo's actions. Sorry. If you put hope on that old man, the Hyuga clan is really not far from extermination. The information from Kenpachi is very clear. The secret signal is still those three fathers. If the Hyuga family cannot solve the problem, they can ask Kenpachi for help. But again, I hope it can't be put on outsiders. This is the most important thing to face, it is Konoha and Cloud Shinobi Village's common blows. What the car has to face is the most profitable blow. A place to pierce the heart. The village he defended with his life, he finally aimed his sword at them. How ironic. It is not that the Hyuga clan betrayed Konoha, but Konoha betrayed them. Hazashi, tell the clansmen to clean up and gather the combatants. Ready to fight anytime. After a moment of contemplation, Hyuga Hiyashi, who recovered from his anger, took a deep breath and started his arrangement. Moonlit night. In the clan of the Uchiha clan. Itachi looked at the sky and hugged the 3-year-old Sasuke in thought. Sasuke was already asleep, but Itachi was not in that mood. As long as he closes his eyes, his head is filled with recent events in the village. The messengers of Cloud Shinobi Village are all dead. As an Anbu ninja, he knows a lot more than ordinary villagers. Jianzhang, is that you? Everyone knows that the messengers of Cloud Shinobi Village are all dead, but they don't know the horrible cause of death. 1 kill. The only person who can do this is Konoha's swordsman rebellion. But Jianzhang, why are you doing this? There was a little confusion in Itachi's eyes. With his gaze condensed, Itachi saw a small golden sword slowly falling from the air, and finally floating on him. In front of. This is. Itachi's pupils contracted for a while. Novel. Jianzhang hung the cross sword on his neck. I once asked Jianzhang myself, Jianzhang said, this is a lucky mascot. The cross sword stayed for a while, and then slowly flew out of the courtyard. That meaning is obvious. Let Itachi follow. 3 years. Jianzhang really came back. Itachi took a deep breath and quickly put Sasuke on the tatami in the room and leapt out. Go all the way. Degree. The golden cross sword flew forward unhurriedly to guide Itachi. Here it is. NS. This is outside the Hyuga clan that is diagonally opposite to the Uchiha clan at Konoha. If you go further, you will go deep into the family land of the Hyuga clan. Obviously, if you go in with the identity of the Chiba clan, it will probably cause contradiction. Well known. Konoha's Hitomi clan, their relationship with Hyuga clan is not very good. However, Jianzhang was waiting for me in front. Gritting his teeth, Itachi finally stepped into the land of the Hyuga clan. It is different from the Uchiha clan. The Hyuga clan is responsible for the investigation mission in the village, so it is more convenient to live outside. I chose here because it's not for Uchiha's discrimination. Related to work, it cannot be called suppression. And the Hyuga clan never asked Konoha more like the Uchiha clan. Compared with Uchiha, they look very peaceful. But now the facts prove that even if you are safe, once something gets entangled in Konoha, the choice is still to throw away. Abandon Hyuga in exchange for peace. Above the tallest building in the Hyuga clan, a figure is sitting there drinking. Behind him, 2 big exaggerated Zanpakuto are stuck on the ground. In the building underneath, countless spiritual positions look shocking. Put the dead souls of the dead in the most towering place in the clan, which represents respect for the ancestors. This is the rule of the Hyuga clan. And Kenpachi, sitting on top of the dead soul, admiring the moon, and the upcoming fight. Sword sang. Behind him, a figure slowly fell. The golden cross sword fell into his hand. 3 years. They meet again. Before coming, Itachi had countless words in his heart that he wanted to talk to. His experience in the past 3 years. The Uchiha clan was excluded. I was dispatched by my father to Anbu to act as an undercover agent, and then by the senior management in turn, he inserted himself in. The Uchiha clan acts as an undercover agent. With my younger brother, the Uchiha clan has more and more friction with the village. A lot of things, there are really a lot of things to say to him. But at this moment, looking at the man's back, he suddenly calmed down. Then walked to him and sat there quietly. Everything seems so natural. Seems flat. This is how it should be. The moon above their heads radiated light. The two teenagers were silent, one of them was drinking, and the other felt it without thinking about it. The calm call. Moving his arm, Kenpachi handed the wine gourd to Itachi to break the silence. These 3 years have been very hard, right? For an instant. Itachi's eyes reddened. Those 3 hooks also emerge because of emotional excitement. Jianzhang knows. He all knows. In this world, the only person who can truly understand himself is Jianzhang. Just like Jianzhang's words, men don't need to talk too much. The sentence Jianzhang just said already contains everything. He knew everything about his own experience. For a long while. Itachi's mood calmed down a lot. He smiled, one of the few at this man. Fine. Grabbing the wine gourd handed by Kenpachi, after taking a sip, he spit out 3 words again. Hit it. Is that so? Kenpachi nodded. After the Aozu rebellion, the conflict between the Uchiha clan and Konoha broke out. Not to mention the transfer of clan land, what it means to the Uchiha clan, only from the increasing. The number of frequent dispatches knows that they can't bear it anymore. This is a problem left by history. No one is right or wrong, the roots come from the battles during the Sengoku period. The distrust of second generation. The departure of Uchiha Madara. Uchiha's ambition and power fostered by the guard. Then the news spread by the people of the Nine Tails. Chaos made many people in the village think that the power of control. The tail attacking Konoha is the Uchiha clan. Have you seen him? I don't bother to think about those problems. Anyway, the situation of this rotten village is much more than I thought. Who? Itachi asked, tilting his head. The Uchiha Madara in the mask. Kenpachi let out a gasp. There are still 3 years before the Uchiha clan is destroyed. During this period, the conflict between Chiba and Konoha will continue to intensify. Obito would also take the opportunity to come to the ancestral hall of the Uchiha clan to look at the steel. One time, they met again. Obito concedes that he is the guide of Uchiha Itachi. Itachi nodded, with a little dread in his eyes. I have seen it once during a mission with Jianzhang. That time the masked man was forced to retreat by Jianzhang. Apart from the other party's inexplicable words, Itachi had no other thoughts. Kenpachi said lazily, it's okay, don't stop him fooling you. In this way, you can just fart everything he says in the future. Then I invite you to watch a good show today. After watching it, turn around and tell me what I saw. Just fart. Obito, he scolds you. In the distance, I looked at Obito, and White Zetsu couldn't help but suddenly spoke. They are here for a good show. In terms of investigation, White Zetsu is outrageous, so they know what happened to Konoha these days. They even want to take the opportunity to take Nine Tails Jinchuriki away if they can. Although the tail beasts should be collected in order, it will be convenient if Jinchuriki can be taken away directly. I know, he just scolds him, wait for Project Tsuki no Mi to finish and I will give him a good dream. Sharingan turned slightly, and Obito's breathing remained calm. Has he scolded less in recent years? Sometimes he even suspected that this kid knew that Afei was the clone of White Zetsu, and then pointed at Bai. Absolutely scolding himself, that idiot Afei had to send the content of his scolding himself clearly into his ears in the tone of conveying information. On purpose. It's definitely intentional. Mulberry. What do you mean after watching? This new vocabulary Itachi is the first time I have heard of it. Faintly felt that this had something to do with Jianzhang calling himself over. Just look good. Kenpachi shook his head, too lazy to explain too much. The Hyuga clan at this moment is very much like the Uchiha in the future. Let's take a look at the results of the Hyuga clan in advance, change his mind, and let him recognize what righteousness really belongs to, and whether he belongs to Uchiha or the village. Look ahead and tell Kenpachi what he thinks. Give him a chance to choose. This is the purpose of Kenpachi. Reminiscence. That thing will have opportunities in the future. What? In the calm night, a scream suddenly struck. Kenpachi smiled and stood up and pointed to the distance. It's finally started. Brother, it's really here. In the clan, Hyuga Hazashi driving by Akugan said to Hyuga Hiyashi next to him. There are a lot of them, and one of them has a terrifying amount of chakra. No way. He is Raikage. Suddenly, he was stunned, and Hyuga Hazashi's words came to an end. Raikage came in person, going beyond Konoha's barrier, directly attack the Hyuga clan. The intelligence is true. Konoha really wants to abandon them. Order the people to fight with all their strength. A breakthrough must be opened anyway. There is no time to hesitate. If today's matter is not handled well, the entire Hyuga clan will move towards. The destruction has begun. At the same time, on the outskirts of the Hyuga clan, countless masked ninjas followed Danzo and appeared here. The elite of Cloud Shinobi Village have entered. You have only one thing to do. The entire family land of the Hyuga clan. It doesn't matter if you see the Hyuga clan's personality killing. Arranging the task, Danzo looked at the person next to him. Shisui, Hyuga Hinata will leave it to you. Be sure to grab her and bring her back to the route. Remember, this is for the village. For the village. After listening to Lord Danzo's series of commands, Shisui was dumbfounded. Is this for the village? What they have to do at this moment is to slaughter their compatriots. And the Hyuga clan made no mistakes. When he came here with Danzo just now, he thought that Lord Danzo was leading the team to support Hyuga. Race against the enemy. Now he found that it was not like that. He once completely wiped out the Hyuga clan. Why? Why on earth? What are you doing in a daze? Danzo looked at Shisui coldly. At this moment, the Hyuga clan's interior is in a mess, but the people who protect the clan must not be weak in fighting power and can. In this case, the one who quickly resolved the battle and captured Hyuga Hinata alive, and Shisui was the only one at the root, otherwise he would not have such a soft-hearted waste. Master Danzo, the Hyuga clan is a member of the village. Shisui shook his head quickly, seeming to want to say something. But Danzo didn't give him this opportunity to interrupt directly. Not to mention the Hyuga clan, if you can sacrifice the Uchiha clan to bring peace to the village, you too. Get it? Because you are Konoha's ninja, not a ninja of Uchiha. Quote. Hurry up, this is a task. Without the patience to continue brainwashing Shisui, Danzo turned away coldly. He had to deal with Sarutobi who came in a while. Today's plan must not be interrupted by Sarutobi. Righteous. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 211 Give a new destiny to the Hyuga clan. Konoha at night is always different. Those towering buildings have also begun to become hideous in people's hearts. The moon in the sky was stained with blood, coupled with the wailing in the Hyuga clan. This is the most miserable background board hidden in the sun. True darkness. The darkness that makes people feel it. Sarutobi carries out tenderness, Danzo carries out fierceness. In the original book, Udatane Kaharu once said to Kakashi to clean up Danzo and Sarutobi. It cannot be denied that the two of them made a mistake, but Konoha, where they are located, was the most prosperous period. These words, it's just farting. In Kenpachi's view, Konoha's peak was still in the early days of establishing the village. One Senju Hashirama and one Senju Tobarama. Water style and wood style. Plus Uchiha Madara who can push the battlefield horizontally. If Konoha at that time wanted to crush the ninja realm, it would not be difficult at all. 1. Wood style and Susanoo are not something ordinary ninjas can deal with. It's a pity they didn't do that. And when Madara killed Konoha, Hashirama told Madara that if anyone dares to attack his village, I will not forgive, even if this person is his own brother, relatives, or even children. In the end, he also tried his best to protect Konoha, thinking that he had deceived Madara's Eternal One with his wood-style clone. Wa gave Madara a fatal blow from behind. But in fact, Madara has already activated a Zanaki in order to preserve the cells in the mouth. It is undeniable that Madara of that period was still not Senju Hashirama's opponent. What happened? Itachi's three hooks turned, looking at the hurried figure below and the screams one after another. The voice was full of consternation. The world has become morbid. Those who advocate that people can understand each other and move towards the idea of peace can be said to be. The heart is good, but it's 60-0 to live in my dream forever. In other words, people who work hard for this idea are worthy of respect, but don't fall into it. The right decision is to wake up and find your own answer. It's like now, Itachi. Quote. Turning his head slowly, Kenpachi looked at Uchiha Itachi with a smile like a kind old father. He is undoubtedly telling Itachi, no matter how Naruto develops in the future, please stay away from him. He knows the strength of the mouth. It's better to be in the same camp, but if it's on the opposite side, be careful. But this time, Naruto's growth is destined to be influenced by him, and even Kenpachi is a little looking forward to the two golden legends. Kamikono overturned the decadent system. For example, he now asks Minato to die to see his son's treatment, the seeds have been planted, and the follow-up. All developments are under the control of Kenpachi. You see it too. Quote. The Hyuga clan has been loyal since Konoha built the village, and I don't want your clan to be so noisy. It's not as noisy as yours. This sounded a bit of a heartbreaking truth. Itachi smiled bitterly. It seemed that even if he left the village, Jianzhang. He also knows Konoha's situation well. But now, they are still suffering from the unreasonable disaster. You know the cause, so Konoha will not be attacked by Cloud Shinobi village. It seems that sacrificing an ethnic group can be exchanged for longer peace. Duya stands on Konoha's side. But what about the Hyuga clan? Why did they encounter this kind of treatment? In this period, there was no one. Individuals are willing to come out to help. Kenpachi shook his head and showed his energy. Who will defend their righteousness? Since I tasted en. Ping, thinking that everyone is equal, isn't it just Konoha who treats them differently right now? What does Jianzhang mean? A trace of sweat oozes from his forehead, and Itachi Saping thought of something, and her breathing gradually became quicker. I just want to ask you one question. Assuming the Uchiha clan being attacked right now, where do you choose to stand? Is the Uchiha clan being attacked? Itachi's body trembled and suddenly became sober. This is just hypothesis. But he is very clear that this assumption is very likely to happen to the Uchiha clan in the future. This can be clearly seen from the contradiction between the family and the village. Don't answer in a hurry. Think slowly, I'll deal with something first. Patting Itachi on the shoulder, Kenpachi leapt down from the top of the building with a grin. Just now, he felt a galloping figure approaching the rear guard of the Hyuga clan. Area. That is a familiar soul fluctuation too. The Hyuga clan, Konoha. In the dark night, the person who carried it murmured. Danzo's words still circled his mind. But the last sentence, although he sounds unpleasant, he doesn't know how to refute Danzo. If you don't go, the last fire of the Hyuga clan will disappear from today, but you can do. They save the blood, and how to choose depends on you. It seems that he is doing good deeds. Shisui was stunned. He is clearly doing things that hurt others, but now he has been bluntly said to be a good deed. What's the meaning? Why is this happening? What happened to this village and this world? At this moment, Shisui's heart is full of confusion. If he represents justice, the Hyuga clan is the evil one. But on what basis does he represent justice standing in such a position to judge others? Why? He bypassed the guards and fell into the yard, looking at Hyuga Hinata, who was being held by his mother, and Heman. The Hyuga people with surprise faces, Shisui's face hidden under the mask is full of shame. There is no doubt that they regard themselves as saviors, as Konoha who came to support the Hyuga clan. Anbu ninja. Quote. Hand over Hyuga Hinata. This sentence can't be said at all in the throat. Master Anbu, did Naruto-sama come to us? Hyuga Neji, 1 year older than Hinata, suddenly asked. At only 4 years old, he is naturally not a fighter on the front line against the Cloud Shinobi Village ninja, but he is also with my own mission, that is to protect the only descendant of the clan family, Hyuga Hinata. Protection for the time being. That is his destiny. At this moment, he still doesn't understand what fate means. He only knows that his father just took him with blood on his body. Sent it over, and then told him to protect the family with cattle life. Shisui said nothing. There was nowhere to vent the depressed emotions in his heart, and he put his hand on the knife behind him. A ninja's vocation is to perform tasks even if they die. But his sword could not be pulled out against these people anyway. Just seeing his movements, the people of Hyuga clan showed their vigilant gazes for an instant. Are you sure? Are you going to draw a knife? At this moment, a figure fell in front of him, standing in front of the Hyuga clan. The figure is not tall, and the two huge knives on the back look awe-inspiring. When these two knives appeared, his identity had already been revealed. Knight Kenpachi. The rumored horrible double to betrayal. Why is he here? Also, what is he going to do? Is it possible that the purpose of the Anbu person in front of him is the same, and he wants to take advantage of the chaos to make a move? Yi, why are you here? Shisui was stunned, and the next moment, he released his hand holding the knife. Although the person in front of you is rebellious, it is not so easy to make up your mind to fight Kenpachi. Easy. The reason is simple. Like Itachi, he also knows the inside story of the year. It's not Bajian's fault at all. But things have gone wrong, and now the person in front of him is in a hostile relationship with Konoha. No, I just want to come. The clan gave Cloud Shinobi Village as a bargaining chip, but I don't want Konoha to get. You should know that I like to face Konoha. Konoha wants to take the whole Hyuga. And why should Konoha pay the bill for the Hyuga clan for his mistakes? This behavior is true. Face. Kenpachi said lightly. Yi, this is not quite right. Shisui gave a wry smile. If you are accurate, you will kill the people of the Cloud Shinobi Village messenger group. Yeah, then you let Konoha and Cloud Shinobi Village settle the accounts with me. What about Hyuga clan? Quote. Shame. Sorry, a person who does things upright, feel sorry for your shameless behavior, Kenpachi said righteously. Yes, I did it. And the words are put here for you. Come if you want trouble. This has nothing to do with the Hyuga clan, right? Well said. The Hyuga clan behind him were grateful for an instant. There is nothing wrong with this. In fact, for them, this incident was completely unwarranted disaster. Who provoked whom? Staying well at home, they will encounter these things, who have never caused trouble. Why? Although the person in front of him is rebellious, but he does things so openly and honestly, just to show his position. It makes them feel a lot cordial. It is true that he killed the messenger of Cloud Shinobi Village. But Konoha's betrayal of the Hyuga clan has nothing to do with Yi Kenpachi, and the problem is not in Kenpachi's body. Maybe they have hatred with Cloud Shinobi Village. But you have to put this incident on the Hyuga clan, and you have to make the Hyuga clan pay the pain. The price to appease Cloud Shinobi Village. Isn't this a bit unreasonable? The essential reason is Konoha's body. Obviously, from Kenpachi's words, they have already heard the maintenance of the Hyuga clan. He is here to save people. Shisui is embarrassed. He was speechless when he was opposed by the general. Kenpachi is telling the truth. He kills people, and one person does things the other way. This has nothing to do with Hyuga, so he came to explain his intentions. Don't do this or that. Kenpachi smiled and drew a pair of knives to hit the shoulders. Give me face, I will save the Hyuga clan, I will ask you to have a drink and have a good chat. By the way, I went back and told Danzo that if he had anything to do, he would stay away. His life had entered the countdown. No doubt, Shisui's mission failed, but the difference is that he always had an explanation. Even when Shisui walked back again, he was a little complacent in his heart. If it weren't for Kenpachi's appearance, I'm afraid he is still struggling with the village and the Hyuga clan at this moment. Everything is fine now. Kenpachi is here. It's good to be honest with Lord Danzo. Anyway, even the dead fourth generation is not Kenpachi's opponent, and he must not be able to beat him. Distinguished heavenly gods. He never planned to use Mangekyo's pupil technique on Kenpachi. For friends, that is not responsible. And now Kenpachi is protecting the Hyuga clan. Stick to one place. Similar to Naruto, even before committing suicide, he still told Itachi to take his will to protect Konoha, but he couldn't give up the Uchiha clan. Boom. Brother, I can't stand it anymore. Raikage's animal is a bit fierce. The front of the Hyuga clan is still fighting fiercely. Regardless of whether the clan's family is still a branch house, all young people with combat effectiveness are resisting the enemy. Every second, members of the Hyuga clan fell down, and some members rushed up to take his place again. The fierce battle continued. In order to protect his brother, Hyuga Hazashi had to rush to fight Raikage, but after a few rounds, he discovered something was wrong. That guy. After vomiting blood, Hyuga Hazashi gritted his teeth and looked at the thunderous man. Oh shit. This fighting is not elegant at all, and Hyuga Hazashi, who is also a ninja, can't see the elegance. Just now he even used his own body to resist the entire gentle fist method, 8 trigrams 64 palms. Is that still a person? Facing Suying, the gentle fist method of their Hyuga clan was as uncomfortable as meeting a nemesis. Gentle fist relies on his own acupuncture points to block the opponent's chakra, but his fingers are on the shadow's body. Going up is the same as when you encounter an iron plate, and you don't wear the extremely defensive lightning-style armor at all. Go together. Hyuga Hiyashi Byakugan slowly opens. At this moment, it's no longer the time to let the branch house protect the clan. If the branch house is not united with the clan, Ishin. To resist the enemy, what awaits them is the fate of extermination. Brother. You. Hyuga Hazashi slowed down and showed a smile on his face. At the last moment of life, it's not bad to see such a big brother. 8 trigrams air palm. 8 trigrams air palm. Bang bang. The two brothers who had seen everything stunned and launched a long-range attack on fourth Raikage. But the chakra air wave hit Ying's body, except that it made him take 2 steps back, it didn't. Substantial harm. Raikage, whose hair has been standing upside down, is clearly in full force. Solve the Hyuga clan as quickly as possible, and then lead the rest to attack Konoha, it's him. Want to do. So from the beginning, I used all my strength. But he had to admit that he did underestimate the Hyuga clan before coming. Although he is leading the elite of Cloud Shinobi Village, the number is a little bit smaller after all. The tearing of the line of defense did not happen. But he was not in a hurry. At the time of the attack, news of Danzo had been passed to him. Except for the front of the attack when he came over, the entire Hyuga clan's clan has been in other directions. Blocked by Konoha Anbu's own people. In other words, he can unscrupulously force the Hyuga clan to surrender. The prerequisite for this is to give them a new patriarch. Thunder bomb. Quote. In full state, Egao jumped to the ground, and the Hyuga brothers started to turn without hesitation. Revolving heaven. Boom. The earth shattered, and the revolving heaven, which was known as absolute defense, stopped turning, and the hand of the shadow. Blocking in front of a person, abruptly used strength to stop the rotation of revolving heaven. Although there was also a trace on the wrist due to the chakra air wave of revolving heaven, but now, he has successfully stopped the action of the two. The person without power 2.7 can only be trampled on. Just like you are now. The pupils shrink, eye is ready for the final blow. Did it fail? Hyuga Hiyashi sighed with a wry smile. Perhaps, you should listen to that person from the beginning. Opening his mouth, he spit out 2 words. Dad. Raikage. Dad, have you succumbed? Want to surrender? Raikage frowned, but called Dad directly, would it seem a bit too cartilage? Dad, huh, knife light flashed. Raikage's expression changed drastically and retreated instantly. Blow down. The earth trembled for a while and 2 sword lights appeared, which looked breathtaking. Yi Kenpachi, he came. With a careless glance at Yukage, Kenpachi walked up to Hyuga Hiyashi and helped him up. Now you're Byakugan, how far can you see? Byakugan's distance. Ordinary Byakugan, 1 kilometer is already the limit. But as the patriarch, he will be farther away. No, this is not what he asked. Hyuga Hiyashi was stunned, then took a deep breath and bowed deeply to Kenpachi. I have seen the fate of the Hyuga clan below. I saw the benefactor who really led the Hyuga clan to glory. From today, as the head of the Hyuga clan, I swear to follow you behind. Good. Kenpachi nodded in relief, not in vain that he wasted so long. This is the answer he wants. Picking up Zanpakuto and nodding his shoulder with the back of a knife, Kenpachi looks calm. In this case, the destiny of the Hyuga clan has changed, and you will be my right-hand man in the future. Arm, shake the whole world of forbearance. Grant Hyuga a new destiny. Quote. Turning around instantly, Kenpachi's knife aimed at Raikage. Shaking his neck, the boy showed a cruel smile. Either roll or die. Please choose one. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 212. He straightened his chest and left Konoha proudly. Who are you? Seeing Kenpachi who suddenly arrived, I squeezed his fist and asked. His body is shining, and Raikage in chakra mode looks aggressive. Today I came to Konoha to obtain the Byakugan blood limit of the Hyuga clan. As expected, Konoha has completely abandoned the Hyuga clan in order to appease the weakness of Cloud Shinobi village. To vent his anger and strike the village at the same time, that's why Raikage came here. Everything is going well, but the person in front of him makes him extremely unhappy. After playing for so long, I didn't see the Hyuga clan succumb, and after this kid came, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan directly announced that the whole clan would follow him. Why? Is the old man's personality less attractive than him? Also, who is he, so bold enough to let himself choose whether to roll or die with one mouth? Who on earth gave him the courage to talk to himself like this? Master Raikage, there is only one ninja who uses a broadsword as a weapon in the ninja world, except for Kurigakure's 10 ninjas. Moreover, the opponent is hitting 2 knives. The characteristics are consistent with the double knife rebellion. It should be Yi Bajian. After defecting from Konoha 3 years ago, the Nine Tails Chaos returned again and killed all except 3rd Hokage and Shimura Danzo. The person from the Sarutobi clan and Shimura clan. 1. According to information, he has been active in the Fire Country for the past 3 years, taking pleasure in hunting Konoha shinobi. Kenpachi hasn't answered his question yet, but the assistant next to Raikage suddenly speaks a little bit. Yi Bajian. The 2 swords that came out of Konoha are like rebels. Different from the low-key Renin in other villages, after leaving the village, he constantly started hunting down the ninjas in his former village for fun. Arrogant to the extreme. However, his arrogance has the confidence that belongs to him. At the beginning of the defect, he was still young and killed Konoha hundreds of Anbu, and he was defeating Namikaze Minato and left. 3 years have passed, and his strength has undergone earth-shaking changes. It seems that Konoha is nothing more than that. He was tossed like this by a kid. Raikage looked up and down. Kenpachi let out a sneer. 11. I thought that the so-called swordsman rebellion was a personal thing, but I didn't expect it to be just a kid. There is no shortage of guys who judge people by appearance in this world. Even Raikage has an unreal feeling instantly after seeing Kenpachi's size. It's him. Konoha tossing to the point where it is today. As a traitor, you can still appear in the old village in a grand manner. Boy, Kenpachi smiled, and to be honest, he hated the title. It's really a kid to you. After all, a man of my level can only kill a dozen or so members of your Cloud Shinobi village mission in a few seconds. But I advise you to call me the Big Devil. Want to know the reason? Big Ghost. What does this kid mean? Raikage frowned and didn't understand. Mabuyi is your assistant, right? Kenpachi grinned and showed a meaningful smile. Don't look at her dark skin, but very moist. At this moment, the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi village were all stunned. It took 10 seconds to fully react to Kenpachi and watch Kenpachi roar in anger. You bastard, what's wrong with Mabuyi? Mabuyi is still alive, which is a surprise to him. But after the news came out of the little devil in front of him, it changed its flavor. Wrong. If what he said is true, then you must not continue to call him a kid. Also, the news that Konoha gave me was clearly that Azabuyi and the others killed by the Hyuga clan were right. I yelled angrily. Stupid. Kenpachi sighed, then calmly patted the ground, and then a brand new fire cloud suit had fallen into his hands. The unique Huion suit of Akatsuki. This is a very distinctive piece of clothing. It looks like a dark robe, but the fire-colored clouds on it heralds the world that is about to change. And it was Akatsuki that changed the world. You guys who were played around by Konoha, how do you know what they think? You should have heard about the name of the Akatsuki organization a little bit. After all, you did not cooperate with the Akatsuki organization less during this period. Many of my tasks were received from the country of need. Huh. Putting the Huion suit on his body in an understatement, Kenpachi tilted his neck and looked at Wang Ying. The clothes don't fit well. People in the organization asked me to wear it. I always refused. Look at this dress. Of course, it has nothing to do with my presence here. I just want you to help me look at this dress. You're King kidding me. Raikage looked savage, and the person in front of him spoke as if he were unreliable. But I do have to tell you something. Grasping the double knife again, Kenpachi's eyes are sharp. That's Konoha's purpose. Undoubtedly, the messenger group of your Cloud Shinobi village was killed underneath. What I can guarantee is that when they died, they were miserable and painful. They seemed to be killed by a single blow, but in fact they felt more painful than being 1,000 years of death. Repeated attacks are 100 times more painful. Seemingly regretful, Kenpachi collided the two knives and made a hum. After all, he cut the soul. However, Konoha has criticized this incident on the Hyuga clan. The purpose is already obvious. Because they know that I can't stop your Cloud Shinobi village's anger with me alone, so they plan to sacrifice the Hyuga clan to preserve Konoha. Taking a look at Hyuga Hiyashi, Kenpachi gave a playful smile. Very real style. Konoha's unique style. But you think in reverse, is this Konoha's plan to kill you? For example, the Ōtsutsuki organization I belong to was hired by Konoha and came to Konoha to solve the messenger group's problems. For example, after I killed the messenger group, Konoha added money again, let me cooperate with them to attack you and let you die here, and then completely eradicate Cloud Shinobi Village's threat to Konoha. Everything is Konoha's conspiracy. It's all a conspiracy. Kenpachi's voice fell, but Yukage was full of cold sweat behind his back. Suddenly, he discovered that this operation was full of loopholes. Yes, does Konoha really have the courage to sacrifice the entire Hyuga clan? If it were him, would he do it? This time the plan, after careful thinking, turned out to be all loopholes. Master Raikage, the perception ninja has observed it. The Hyuga clan has been completely surrounded, and even the Konoha people are watching where we come in. At this moment, the people in need of shadow suddenly reported the situation in a hurry. For a time, everything confirms what Kenpachi said. Konoha's plan was to kill herself. Raikage trembled, not scared, but angry. Has it been calculated? Why doesn't he know? Konoha is so insidious that he seduce himself here, the purpose is to kill him. Don't say, if he thought of this way, he would definitely put it into action. Even if they don't want to admit it, the ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village know that deep down they already have a sense of identity with Kenpachi's statement. Especially when Danzo's people actually blocked their access to the Hyuga clan. But, there are also sober people on the court. For example, Hyuga Hiyashi, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan who has declared allegiance to Kenpachi. Does Sarutobi have the courage to use the Hyuga clan as bait? Do not make jokes. If he really had that courage, I'm afraid he would never come to him before and let his death in exchange for. Obviously, everything was made up by the boy in front of him. The purpose is also obvious. To provoke the discord here, let Yukage lose his mind and start fighting with Konoha here. Whether it will work or not Hyuga Hiyashi doesn't know yet. But judging from the look of the shadow, it is obvious that Konoha has already doubted Konoha's cattle production. Well, Konoha and Hyuga are no longer related. From today on, where the Hyuga clan belongs, it is up to Kenpachi alone to decide. Master Raikage, what shall we do? Konoha can really open. Raikage's eyes were cold, but our purpose of coming to Konoha this time must not be interrupted. Otherwise, those who lost during the first attack would not be able to explain to their families. Purpose. Need Ying's voice was not covered up, so when his voice just fell, the atmosphere became tense again. There is no doubt that the purpose of Raikage's trip is only one. That is the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan. It is true that even if Konoha is calculating them, they are also calculating Konoha. Except for Byakugan, Konoha is destroyed to the greatest extent. This is another goal, but obviously Byakugan is the most important. Before getting Byakugan, he couldn't rush to Konoha to kill him. Therefore, the little devil standing in front of the Hyuga clan must be cleared. Emotion. What I just said was eaten by dogs. Seping himself shouldn't give others a chance to rethink. Kenpachi sighed and looked at Hyuga Hiyashi, go 2 steps back. Upon receiving the order, Hyuga Hiyashi nodded and hurriedly backed away. The opponent is Raikage, it is estimated that it will spread to a large area during the battle. Hyuga Hiyashi also wanted to take this opportunity to see how strong this man is. The man who can beat 4th Hokage. It is also a guarantee for the Hyuga clan in the future. How strong he is related to the survival of the family after leaving Konoha. Facing Konoha's chase with a horror, he stayed in the so-called Ōtsutsuki organization under the fence. Under his command, just like this double-sword betrayer, he is still free to do what he wants to do. Hyuga Hiyashi doesn't ask the Hyuga clan to leave Konoha to shock the ninja world, as long as there is a safe place. Fang development is enough. Everything depends on the strength of the man in front of you. The need to shadow is destined to be a test that cannot be resisted with rhetoric, and it is only the first. It's the test. There is not only one person in the ninja world who covets the power of Byakugan. In the future, they will also have to face a steady stream of challenges. Start with double knives. 2 men with disproportionate figures finally pretend to be together with everything personally. Raikage has always regarded himself as strength, and even thinks that strength is. Apart from 1st Hokage and 2nd Hokage in the development and application of ninjutsu, Konoha is only. One Tsunade developed a strange force. But Cloud Shinobi Village's lightning-style chakra mode is a well-deserved representative of ninjutsu. Wearing lightning-style armor, he can even use his body to resist most ninjutsu. And his father 3rd Raikage developed the lightning-style chakra mode to the strongest spear and the strongest shield. Through Kenpachi, I understand that the so-called strongest is just a way of expressing surprise. He is strong because no one surpasses, and even those who surpass him are too lazy to care. Blow down. There was a loud noise. Kenpachi's black knife in his left hand slashed on the special bracer of neckage. The earth trembled, and the mud sank all over the two of them. The shock of the collision between the bodies alone is enough to explain the impact of the two people's attacks. But, Kenpachi raised his brows and looked at Raikage in front of him with dissatisfaction. Zanpakuto slowly pressed down, and the muscles of his arm began to swell. You just have so little strength. You just have so little strength. People looked at the man in shock. Is he a monster? Pure power is even stronger than Raikage in full power. Why, little devil, did you start training when you hit the mother's womb? Gritting her teeth, Ying asked her question from her throat, and she slammed Kenpachi's knife all over her body. What a power this is. Oh, sorry, you really can't stop the power of the normal sixth gate. Kenpachi glanced calmly at his system panel and said. For 3 years, persistently wield the knife. It is not only the template progress that is strengthened, but the amount of chakra and physical fitness are also valuable gains. 607 Of course, this so-called normal sixth gate in physical fitness is just a comparison of strength in a pure sense. If Reiatsu and chakra burst together, it is by no means comparable to the 8 inner gates' sixth gate state. Maybe Kenpachi is overestimating the power of Raikage. Woo. But the next moment, Kenpachi's arm loosened and the Raikage in front of him disappeared instantly. Boy, the old man is here to teach you a lesson. What Raikage is strong is not pure power. Guillotine drop. The violent chakra wave above his head hit, Kenpachi raised his head slightly and saw a huge foot kicking his head. Speed. Good. Raikage is not strong in power. If it is pure power PK, he is not even as good as Tsunade. But with his terrifying speed increase, the power will be even more terrifying. Also in the original book, seeing that his strength is at a disadvantage, he will fail the wrist wrestling confrontation with Tsunade, and he used his own speed to counterattack and win the confrontation. Substantiated Reiatsu defense. Consciously wanting to test the power of this foot, Kenpachi didn't even use Zanpakuto to resist it. Calmly spit out a few words, and a golden light rose into the sky. The huge golden tangible skeleton directly blocked Shadow's feet. Boom. The earth shattered. But Kenpachi still stood there calmly looking at the opponent unharmed. Materialized Reiatsu defense. Not to mention anything else, just this golden skeleton is somewhat similar to Susanoo Nope. Is this to such a degree? Kenpachi shook his head slightly. It's not as good as me. Reaching out his hand and directly pinching the bare feet of Yukage, Kenpachi slammed Raikage from the air to the ground with a sudden force. Boom. Sign. At the next moment, the two sharp Zanpakuto of Kenpachi are facing the shadow. One gold and one black. There are two different types of light, but they are all used by the sword pressure unique to the Shinigami world. Obviously, Kenpachi is not afraid that killing Raikage will cause a sensation. At this moment, he just wants to swing a knife. The violent explosion seemed to make Konoha tremble. After a full minute, Kenpachi's front has become a pit. The ninjas of Cloud Shinobi Village have also completely disappeared. Ryu died. In the distance, Hyuga Hiyashi led the people to watch this scene in shock. This man, it's so terrible, gone. Falling in front of Hyuga Hiyashi, Kenpachi spoke calmly. Where to go? Hyuga Hiyashi swallowed. Take your people, and hold my chest out. Where did Konoha come from? Where did he leave, and walked out of Konoha with pride as I am? Remember, leaving Konoha is not a betrayal or escape. I am just disappointed in this decadent village and want to leave here. That's it. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 213 The Confrontation at the Entrance of the Village, the Scratch on the Forehead Protector. Lord Raikage. The Hyuga clan walked out under the leadership of Kenpachi. And somewhere in the corner, more than a dozen bloody guards guarded the dying Yingying. Kenpachi's serial attacks were not resolved. After a few cuts, the elite troops brought by Raikage are only a few of them. Raikage, in order to protect his subordinates, suffered the most damage. At this moment, Ai's consciousness is almost blurred, the special wristband on his left arm has been shattered, and the hand underneath is only left with bones. That kid. Consciousness was a little fuzzy, and the pain from the depths of the soul at the broken arm made him suffer all the time. Master Raikage, what should we do? The guard who was slightly injured next to him asked with difficulty. No one believes that kid can cause such an amazing destructive power. Everything about Konoha's visit this time should have been calculated. Even if Konoha's ultimate goal is to keep Raikage here according to that kid's statement, he has also considered this link. Only the destructive power of the Double Swords Rebellion, they did not expect at all. 1. How to do? Raikage gave a wry smile. I wanted to take Hyuga first, but I was attacking Konoha. But now, there are only a dozen of the hundreds of elites he brought, and the rest are either dead or washed away. In this case, why would they dare to stay in Konoha? Not to mention that according to Yi Kenpachi, Konoha had thoughts about them. Even if he had never thought of seeing such a weak self and guards, he would definitely take the initiative to create ideas. It's not surprising that those insidious villains do this kind of thing. The way to come has been controlled by Konoha Anbu, feel for picking a place where the guards are weaker, and go back to the village. Right now, there is only one way to return to the village. Reikage's eyes were murderous and angry, and he didn't even know how to deal with his family after losing so many people. When I came here, the accident was an easy task, and it was a little devil's body. Konoha's twin swords betrayal. Konoha, holding his head, I led his men to pass quietly. To be sure, this account has been completely pressed on Konoha's head. It's what Kenpachi did, but this is the case in the ninja world, what the Renin who came out of his own village did will also have to pay for the village where Renin was before. Reikage has made up his mind to organize a large-scale attack on the Land of Fire after returning. In any case, he must give his dead brother an explanation. Outside the Hyuga clan, Danzo stood calmly behind the crowd waiting for news. Today's plan is perfect, and just through perception, he even discovered interesting things. That is a familiar chakra, from Yi Bajian's chakra. There is no doubt that the kid is in the Hyuga clan, and has even fought against Reikage. With a triumphant smile, Danzo's heart is extremely cheerful. His Shimura Danzo is not as superficial as others think, this time the plan is perfect, if handled well. The dissatisfaction of the Hyuga clan, the peeping of Cloud Shinobi village, and the oppression of the Two Swords rebels are powerful to the village. The existence of threats will be resolved. Earlier, he was worried that Yi Bajian would not come, now it seems that his worry is unnecessary. Just rely on his resourcefulness and analysis. First, the mission of Cloud Shinobi village was killed by Yi Kenpachi. Second, Cloud Shinobi village has no hatred with Yi Kenpachi, and if that kid wants to attack Konoha, absolutely does not need any reason, so he has his reason to kill the messenger group of Cloud Shinobi village. That is causing the friction between Konoha and Cloud Shinobi village, taking the opportunity to rescue the Hyuga clan in distress. Combining these 2 points, Danzo made a gamble. That is, Yi Kenpachi has a connection with the Hyuga clan. Does this connection give benefits or is it himself? It doesn't matter if we have an unknown relationship. What's important is that Yi Kenpachi appeared here when the Hyuga clan was attacked. Forget it. He has it all. Forget it. Reikage will plunge headlong into the Hyuga clan. For the night, Kenpachi will appear. Forget it until today. After that, he will become Konoha's leading hero. Danzo is proud of him at the moment. There is no other reason for pride, that is, he thinks he has surpassed Sarutobi Hiruzen. Although I don't admit it, I have been suppressed by Sarutobi for so many years. Feeling more and more enjoyable. Once again, he walked in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Really, the old man is the most suitable candidate for Hokage. When this matter is over, he will find the name of the country of fire and his 2 advisors and friends to join together. His hand pressed Sarutobi. Sarutobi said that there is only one reason for his re-emergence to take over from Naruto, and that is to wait for a new one. Before Hokage grew up, he helped manage the village. So now, Danzo believes that his achievements have surpassed Sarutobi Hiruzen. The village should be managed by him. Forcing Sarutobi to step down, Danzo is Konoha's 5th Hokage. Although it was a little late, the dream came true after all. He exhaled comfortably. Danzo frowned suddenly and looked to the side. Danzo. Howl of anger. Danzo saw a face that couldn't be more familiar. Here comes Sarutobi. Danzo gave him a calm look, then Danzo looked back. Sarutobi came here not unexpectedly. Because from the beginning to the end, he only mentioned a small part of the plan with Sarutobi. And he successfully tricked Reikage into Konoha's information, he apparently just learned. You don't even discuss such a big matter with me. An angry Sarutobi stood directly in front of Danzo. He is indeed angry. As Naruto, when he learned the news through the crystal ball and Anbu's ninja, he almost fainted. Reikage killed Konoha with someone. The reason is that you want to take away everyone from the Hyuga clan. And Danzo actually helped the people of Cloud Shinobi village surround the Hyuga clan. Even through the chakra that just broke out from the violent vibration, the perception ninja first determined the night. Kenpachi also appeared here. What happened to this village? Why is he as Hokage, but he was the last to hear these news? The result is good, that is good. Danzo said lightly, my plan is perfect. I will bring people from the roots in a while. Go to check the situation. For Konoha, the best situation is that Nekage and Yi Bajian, oh no, it was the traitor who was renamed Yi Kenpachi and Nekage lost both. Nekage, his guards and the traitor were caught by us. And the Hyuga clan will see us as heroes to save them because of the perfect script. As for the worst case scenario, the Yi Kenpachi and Hyuga clan are annihilated. Reikage has no power to continue fighting and can only negotiate with us, and the Hyuga clan will leave the only bloodline Hyuga Hinata. Of course, the roots of this only bloodline will help Konoha take care of it. When she grows up, arrange the most suitable man to become a fertility machine. At that time, the Hyuga clan who really belong to Konoha will take care of her. Even the worst case is good for us. Turning around slowly, Danzo continued to speak with a touch of sarcasm on his face. And Sarutobi, you did nothing to explain this to Cloud Shinobi village. What you did was nothing more than learning from first Hokage Senju Hashirama. Even if it did. So Sarutobi, this time, the old man won. Hand over the position of Hokage, I do better than you. Quote. For the village, for Konoha. Sarutobi. The last sentence hovered in Danzo's heart for a long time, but after all, he didn't say it directly. The location of Naruto. From the first ninja war to the present, decades have passed, and the old man's dream has finally approached. Looking at Danzo in a daze, his face was familiar but extremely strange. For the village. For the village. He didn't listen to the other words. Only these 4 words are what I often talk about. For the village. Is this really for the village? The first time, Sarutobi Hiruzen actually started to reflect on himself. Mistakes made over the years. Putting the evil results of Danzo's development, after all, made Konoha the result in front of him. Sacrifice the Hyuga clan to make a big bet. But have you ever thought about a problem? What if everything is beyond your development? Sarutobi's heart is struggling. Is everything we do really for the village? Then why did he see the blood left by a member of Konoha? Master Danzo. It's not good. At this moment, a figure fell in front of Danzo and Sarutobi. Judging from the more weird lines on the mask than Anbu, there is no doubt that he originated from the roots. Be quiet, the sky won't fall. Danzo squinted his eyes to look at his subordinates. Everything is under his control, and in his cognition, there are no so-called bad factors. The battle within the clan has ended. The news just came that our ninjas surrounding the Hyuga clan were attacked by 2 forces, and now the line of defense has been torn apart. The root ninja quickly continued to report. Is the battle over? It was much earlier than expected. Danzo frowned. Go on. One of them is Raikage's guards, which has successfully torn the line of defense and rushed out of the village, and the other is the Hyuga clan led by Kenpachi. They also tore the line of defense, but they did not choose to leave the village suddenly. What happened? Danzo was stunned suddenly. This is completely different from the scenario that was expected to hurt both sides. And the people of the Kenpachi and the Hyuga clan killed the root ninjas like crazy, and we are now very close to our location. From the path of the journey, it seems that Kenpachi wants to lead the Hyuga clan to kill the root ninjas. Then leave from the main entrance of Konoha. What did you say? Withdraw. With a roar, the flawed Danzo waved his hand in Sarutobi's dumbfounded gaze, and directly announced his retreat. Yes, Sarutobi was completely stunned. Danzo, who was just arrogant, chose to flee the scene instantly after hearing that Kenpachi had killed him. It's so decisive, you deserve it. Sarutobi smiled. His smile was full of regret and sigh. Just now, his heart was shaken by Danzo's words. At that moment, he even felt that his Naruto was really not as good as Danzo. But now, he suddenly woke up. How is this kind of thing possible? Whenever the village is in crisis, Danzo will definitely protect himself as soon as possible and find for himself. Chu caught his old friend. Yes, the Nine Tails Chaos, the ninjas of Anbu, the ninjas of the village, and even the villagers in the village suffered heavy casualties. But where is Shimura Danzo? Where is he? No one knows. In order to give face to his old friend, he didn't cross-examine it carefully. How can such a person become Hokage? Quote. Leave from the main entrance of the village. Quote. It looks like when you left Konoha, Kenpachi. Shaking his head and whispering for a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen rushed toward the front door. Danzo left a mess, but as Konoha's 3rd Hokage, he still has to do it himself. No way, he is Hokage. They share the same beliefs with 1st generation and 2nd generation. Even if you fight for your life, you must protect the village. Although, he didn't know until now that it was because of him. His weakness has already caused everything today. If the Cloud Shinobi village envoys came to the door to ask the teacher, he could be a little tougher, it would be a different result. Obviously, at this moment, he still thinks that sacrificing something that can be solved by one person is not necessary to get angry. The face. He hadn't wanted that stuff a long time ago. 8 trigrams air palm. Boom. What? Recruit. Looking at the shattered mask of the ninja in front of him, Hyuga Hiyashi took a deep breath and bowed to Kenpachi. Bowed. Voting for fame. This thing is needed wherever it goes. Just like now, although he has shown his loyalty to Kenpachi, he must have actual actions. The ninja who killed the roots or Anbu had declared their determination. There is no special reason. Raikage has to run this kind of strength just for the opponent's few tricks, it is worthy of them to follow. In the words of his younger brother Hyuga Hazashi, it's better to work hard for Kenpachi than to. Konoha didn't know when he was much stronger than others. The team is advancing vigorously, Li Wang Zhao. Kenpachi walked in the forefront, behind the Hyuga clan who was preparing to migrate. Young children, such as Neji and Hinata, did not know that the destiny of the Hyuga clan had changed. And the clansmen of the older generation have long been appointed. Konoha village is not big or small, it doesn't take long to walk from the Hyuga clan to the village entrance. And when they came here, the final enemy appeared. Konoha's 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, and his surroundings are Anbu who has entered a fighting state. Ninjas, those units that belong to Naruto. Among them, the most conspicuous is Uchiha Itachi next to third generation. It's coming. Third generation sighed and took a step slowly. Patriarch Hiyashi, this is not the same as agreed. I have already learned about other things from Danzo. This is not yours. As the third Hokage, I give you a chance to choose. Turn around, go back to your own clan, and leave that dangerous person. If you leave Konoha with Kenpachi, you will be Konoha's enemies from today. Both soft and hard. This is the usual method of third generation. But this set is no longer suitable for the awakened Hyuga clan. Bowed to Kenpachi, Hyuga Hiyashi took a step forward with a raging anger on his face. You said you understand the situation. Fart. With a roar, Hyuga Hiyashi pointed at Sarutobi's old face. Do you know how many people Hyuga died tonight? Have you seen the freshness that flows when they die? Blood. This blood debt, why do you still give us the opportunity to choose? Quote. Taking a deep breath, Hyuga Hiyashi used his actions to tell Konoha his choice. All the people of Hyuga, take out your forehead protector and Kuma. Kunai and forehead protector fall into the hands. When Hyuga Hiyashi took the lead in cutting out the traces representing Konoha and throwing kunai on the ground. The scene was completely silent. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 214 Naruto, what a good job, Sarutobi. Night shrouded. Konoha did not have the hustle and chaos of the day, on the contrary, it was extremely calm. This calm is not because people have fallen asleep. It was the result of the collision of strange atmospheres. The entrance of the village. The two parties are still facing each other. Third generation led the Anbu ninja who belonged only to him, staring at the scene before him in a daze. Behind him, Hitaki Kakashi is not far from Uchiha Itachi. And in their eyes, there are also different degrees of shock. Just now, the whole Hyuga clan who are still alive cut the forehead protector in their hands in front of them. Not only that, but also threw the scratched forehead protector on the ground and stepped on it hard. What does this mean? In the ninja world, breaking the forehead protector means betraying. People will know from the forehead protector which village you are a betrayer. After cutting it and throwing it on the ground, Kakashi sees it as a farewell. Cut off the past, and say goodbye to everything before. Even meeting again as the enemy. They are declaring war. Declare war as the Hyuga clan, not as Konoha's rebels. Kenpachi once said that when you always have a sense of superiority when you say that you are a traitor, you have essentially lost. That means you still take things that you lose seriously. Even looking forward to going back there. That's not a real betrayal. The true rebellion, the blood and the fire 3 times, completely forgets everything before, meets again and kills. If you can leave the emotions towards the former village, there is only peace. Orochimaru understands this truth. But Orochimaru still has to break a new knot, otherwise he won't be able to do this kind of freedom. That is to have a complete break with Sarutobi Hiruzen. Jianzhang finally reached this point. Itachi looked at Kenpachi with a complicated expression. He has thoroughly understood the whole thing. The fights from the top, and the entire Hyuga clan was affected. Even for the so-called peace, the village leaders took the initiative to deal with their own people. What a dirty method. Standing behind third generation, Itachi suddenly felt a sense of vomiting, but couldn't vomit. He was afraid that Jianzhang would let him stand there, see everything clearly, and then give him an impression. If you let him say it now, there are only 2 words in the afterthought. Nausea. 967 At this moment, he even had an urge to walk directly to Jianzhang and leave Konoha with him. But he can't do that. He can sex. What about the Uchiha clan? Jianzhang took him to the Hyuga clan and saw everything. The purpose is to let him see Hyuga clearly. What happened to the clan? Since the village can use this dirty method to deal with the Hyuga clan, will it also deal with it in the future? The Uchiha clan. Behind him stood Uchiha's people. With a wry smile, Itachi lowered his head. No matter how now, he couldn't aim the knife at the person in front of him. What they mean, you should know. So, get out of here. The calm was suddenly broken. Kenpachi walked slowly to the forefront of the Hyuga clan, and pointed the knife at Sarutobi Hiruzen in a dominant posture. Ultimatum. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head calmly. As the third generation fire. He will never go back. He believes that if these people leave Konoha, it will be endless trouble in the future. The old man is standing here. If you want to leave, you have to step on the old man's corpse. It's useless to talk more. With the determination of the Hyuga clan, mouth evasion and brainwashing are useless. The forehead protector has been scratched and thrown on the ground, so what can I say? Fight, there is no other choice. He gave the Anbu ninja next to him a look, and Sarutobi, holding a wishful golden hoop, was ready to do it. Pity, he miscalculated one thing. No, Sarutobi. Suddenly drinking a sip, Kenpachi's body slowly floated and looked at him calmly. The true fragrance law suits everyone. You just said not to let us go, even if it's dead. What does the law of true incense mean? Sarutobi frowned. I know, you are not afraid of death. But he will never let these people leave, even if it's hard to fight, it's true. After all, it is a shadow, a symbol of a village. But again, Makaw's meaning is obvious. After a while, you will regret your wrong actions. Kenpachi is still able to control himself. After Reiatsu, Kenpachi has already been able to do the basic operation of flying. The body floats higher and higher. As Shinigami, you can. Shinigami, also a god. Kenpachi didn't want to learn from pens forcibly selling rice to Konoha's men, women and children, he just wanted Sarutobi. Begging to leave the wood bedg, leaf. Sarutobi Hiruzen is not afraid of death. Kenpachi knows this very well. The more this time, the person who bears the name of the shadow will not shrink back. Maybe he is really cowardly sometimes, but in the final moment, he will stand up. So killing him is not the best way to torture and redeem him. What he cherishes is always this village. Didn't he say that he kept saying it was for the village? Standing still in the air, Kenpachi held a zanpakuto in one hand and pointed to Konoha below. On his face, a huge skull mask slowly emerged. This is the first time I have used this thing. If it is too powerful, will it kill Konoha directly? That's it. Quote. Tisk, I'm not sure. After all, this thing is not like tailed beast bomb, it can also be transferred by the god of flying. What is he going to do? Below, Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his head and his face was solemn. He can fly. This alone is already tricky. Ninjutsu has an attack range. If it is out of the attack range, it will not be Qin Shao, even if it is his killing. The same goes for hand copper. Can you only count on Saru? Looking at the golden hoop in his hand, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath. There is only one chance. Different from Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen knows that Kenpachi's fighting power is not even 4th Hokage. People under. But, what is he going to do? Black and red light slowly converged on the tip of the knife. Kurosaki Ichigo's mask, plus the white zanpakuto that originally belonged to him, wanted to release. Flash is not difficult. When the light shone more and more, Sarutobi's face finally changed. Just that kind of aura is by no means inferior to the tail beast that broke out in the Nine Tails chaos. The pressure in the air makes people breathless. Finally. The light burst. Unlike tailed beast bomb, when Sarutobi's mechanically stiff neck looks at the impact of black and red light. When in the region, the heartbeat suddenly stagnated. Soot. Do not. There is no smoke or ashes, this thing has been broken down by the powerful Reiatsu at the same time that Saro broke out. That blow only left barrenness and annihilation, and the unstable black-red light in the air slowly disappeared. Vacuum zone. After a while you will kneel on the ground and beg me to leave. He finally understood the meaning of this sentence. The black-red light instantly turned a third of Konoha into a vacuum. It's a vacuum in the true sense. All the people who were there before have disappeared. From now on, no one will remember them. Stretch. Ape Demon King. Highway Mao Shu Ziyu Wu. A roar, accompanied by a rapid approach to the figure attacked. Looking at his Jian, Kenpachi touched his chin and suddenly smiled. The figure quickly approached without any movement. It rushed to Kenpachi in the sky in the blink of an eye, and then his hands firmly grasped Kenpachi's hands. In this situation, it's very much like Minato's posture when Nine Tails was sealed by Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original book. The seal of the cow's life looks like Orochimaru. It's so shabby, Sarutobi. Kenpachi calmly looked at each other and said. Sorry, Kenpachi, this trick is used, it already means that your life is going to end. Sarutobi Hiruzen looks solemn, everything is going well, he has caught the boy in front of him. Hands. The next thing to do is very simple. I don't understand too much. Forget it, I'll just ask you a question. Kenpachi stared at each other strangely, can you tell me who gave you the courage? How dare you rush into the air? Come in front of me, of course, in order to make a promise with someone, I am afraid I will beat you to death. It's not very good to explain to him, but it's not good to stop too much. After all, your strength in the textbook is very good. Clearly, it is Konoha's strongest Hokage. Quote. You are talking about Orochimaru, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked cold. This kid really hooked up with Orochimaru. Is the strongest Naruto. He can naturally hear the yin and yang in Kenpachi's words. If Hokage is the strongest, it's first Hokage Senju Hashirama, the ninja god, can afford it, but sorry, he meant to live. He is the strongest of Hokage. There is no doubt that he has lived to the present, he is the strongest Hokage. So he didn't think there was anything wrong with this. But courage. Yi Kenpachi, you will never understand this feeling, as a shadow inherited from its ancestors. Understand. Quantity is the will of fire that protects the village at the expense of yourself, you will never. At the moment of life and death, Sarutobi also calmed down. Just now the old man has already done the analysis and is under your leadership, and you are the leader of this group of traitors. The Hyuga clan below is no accident. Kenpachi nodded his head in a playful expression, go on, it's wonderful. So, as long as you kill you, their strength is absolutely inseparable from Konoha. Sarutobi continued, and your strength is too strong, the real fighting old man must not be your opponent. So I can only use this trick. Quote. Seal technique. The ghouls are all sealed. The huge Shinigami phantom slowly condensed, and while Shinigami was still condensing, Sarutobi suddenly laughed. I finally understand what kind of mentality was when Master Second Generation took the initiative to stand up. Did it? Quote. And you, Yi Kenpachi. Everything you do is perfect, but I analyzed your weakness. My weakness. Kenpachi himself stared at Sarutobi Hiruzen dumbfoundedly. Damn it, why don't I know my weakness? It is true that you can fly, but there is no need to fly into the sky to do an attack like the one just now. And on the ground, the damage caused is estimated to be greater than on the sky. Sarutobi's face is full of wise light. What do you understand? Kenpachi blinked. You took the knife, and you didn't go straight to show off with me. Sarutobi said coldly, and I was relieved to see you defending the knife, that's why I dared to seize the opportunity to rush over. Just think about it, this kind of attack that can match the tailed beast bomb must also have its shortcomings. At least it can't be used continuously, and after using it once, there will be a stiff body reaction, so you will not go on. And now, I won. In the future, we will fight in Shinigami's belly. What's all this and what? Damn, your brain circuit, absolutely. Kenpachi sighed slightly, just glanced at the newly formed Shinigami phantom behind Sarutobi Hiruzen. But thank you for giving me the reason for the second Saro. If you want to see it, then show it to you. By the way, I can tell you by the way, this kind of ordinary Saro, to be honest, it doesn't consume much to me. I really want to see it consumes violently, that's it. The mask spread again. Kenpachi's breath becomes unstable. When a huge torrent stands in the air with Sarutobi Hiruzen's neck, the shadow of Shinigami behind Sarutobi is directly turned into powder. It's a coincidence, or inevitable. The Shinigami that Sarutobi Hiruzen summoned at this time was the same Shinigami that Namikaze Minato had summoned to seal Nine Tails. It is the same style that was scared off by Kenpachi. So this time, without even waiting for Kenpachi to do anything, he just glanced at the Shinigami phantom in the form of a bull's head, and the guy ran away in a hurry. Run very decisively. Explain. The same as Shinigami, he is far from Kenpachi in rhyme level. How is it possible? Sarutobi Hiruzen trembled all over, and the pressure from the leader in front of him made his heart beat. I feel like my life is in the hands of the other person. And just now, his soul caught by Shinigami was released back. You can even feel the emotions of Shinigami's emotions. That emotion, named fear. Thank you for giving me a second chance to post Saro. Well, I am too lazy to use the same trick, this time. Wang Shu's flash. Boom. The light flashed away. But when people slowly opened their eyes, they realized that everything had changed. Konoha is half gone. Cleaner than when Pain sold rice. Of course, it's not that Kenpachi's inability to turn everything into ashes, it's a matter of perspective. If he stood right in front of Konoha and placed this trick, and he wouldn't even leave Konoha alive like Pen did. Of course, the most important thing was that he was afraid of affecting the Hyuga clan and Itachi. Others were free. They cannot die. So, now, do you want me to go? Squeezing Sarutobi's neck, Kenpachi fell on the ground, the mask was retracted into his body and raised his head blankly. Sarutobi finally recovered, as if he wanted to yell hysterically. But then, Kenpachi's knife once again aimed at Konoha's only remaining spot that was not destroyed. Do you want to send it again? Kenpachi's eyes are still calm, it seems that the death of those people has nothing to do with him. Thump. The old man knelt to the ground. Finally uttered a word. Please, leave. Really fragrant. Kenpachi smiled and patted Sarutobi's shoulder on the back. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you Naruto, you are a good one. The first generation and second generation in the spirit of heaven will be very happy to see your performance. Puff. Finally, this old blood spurted out. As he died, what he saw was the back of Konoha from the Hyuga clan. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 215F*K with me and give you eternal life. He's gone. Konoha door. Watching the back of the Kenpachi and Hyuga clan leaving. At this moment, no one dared to stop them. Hyuga's departure is already a foregone conclusion, and those who are alive must find a way for future difficulties. Lifting his head, the Konoha village in front of him is very strange. Itachi was confused and stretched out his hand to touch something, but everything in front of him made his body extremely stiff. It seems intentional or unintentional. Itachi looked brightly white from the direction of the two flashes just now. The location where Jianzhang attacked was some distance away from the Uchiha clan. The flash has a strong penetrating power, and the two attacks from that angle did not reach Uchiha. It is the people who have newly moved to the place where Uchiha used to be, have turned to ashes. Terrible attack. But now, should Itachi be fortunate, or should? Without even looking at third Hokage, some decadent Itachi sighed and walked towards Uchiha's clan. He is the witness of all the disasters that happened in Konoha today, but he has no idea where he has drifted to. Now he just wants to go home and hug his younger brother. Perhaps that would make him feel the meaning of existence. But Hitaki Kakashi walked to third Hokage and stood there watching him for 10 seconds before turning and leaving. He already knows the cause and effect of the matter. But this matter, no matter how you look at it, seems to be Konoha's own making. Was it for the ridiculous scene of a few people in the village? Shaking his head, Kakashi's mockery couldn't be concealed. Interesting things seem to be coming. At this moment, third Hokage is similar to his father Hatake Tsukumo. In any case, Konoha's loss will eventually fall on the top management. At that time, did Qianfu refer to him as his father's courage and choose to commit suicide? Or still stay in the position of Hokage for the elderly? Kakashi needs an answer. The Fire Country went to a forest in the country of Tien, and the Hyuga clan who had been advancing for several hours in a row. People are resting, and Kenpachi was sitting on the tree stroking his knife, and Azabui next to him gave Kenpachi a blank look. Namikaze Minato, who was standing in the dark with the wine next to him and carrying the sun behind his back, finally couldn't help it. One word for you is enough to show how struggling the little son is at this moment. Konoha ruined. Everything happened too fast. Even if he wanted to sacrifice himself to protect the village regardless of the limits of his soul, he would do it. Less than. The thing that ruined Konoha was a black-red light. Light cannot be transferred by Fey Need God technique. Therefore, he could only watch most of Konoha turn into nothingness. Naruto is not dead, you can rest assured. Quote. Kenpachi glanced at him and retracted his gaze. He threw Sero out, so where to attack, he still has this measure. Uchiha's new clan land is used in Konoha and is diagonally opposite to Hyuga Hiyashi, so the two lights. Mang couldn't be affected at all, and Naruto's house just passed by, waking him up from his sleep at best. In short, it is not difficult to keep those who want to destroy it, and it is not difficult to keep this method for those who don't want to. I'm not talking about Naruto but Konoha. Minato sighed with a wry smile. Konoha ruined most of it. Originally because of the Hyuga family, the contradiction between Cloud Shinobi Village and Konoha has not been resolved. On the edge of the outbreak, how to deal with Cloud Shinobi Village with the current Konoha reform. Minato became more afraid as he thought about it. He even felt that Konoha was at stake this time. With a sad face, he wanted to say something to Kenpachi, but he knew that the other party had warned last time. He is a dead man, and it's already very gratifying to be able to watch his son grow up. There are some things he knows should not be said. But no way, he used to be Konoha's fourth Hokage. Watching this kind of thing happen, but there is no way, the feeling in my heart is obviously not. Very Kenpachi, I know that there are problems in the upper Konoha, but these have nothing to do with the villagers. After hesitating, Minato still said his thoughts. It doesn't matter. How did Hatake Tsukumo die? When Cloud Shinobi Village wanted Hyuga Hiyashi's life, what did they say? Kenpachi glanced at him lightly. In a word, Minato was speechless. The weak need asylum from the strong, but once asylum becomes a habit, this asylum becomes a requirement. The most frightening thing is that the weak still take this kind of shelter for granted. What is going on in this world? Minato smiled wryly. Only on this point of view, he did not have any rebuttal. Indiscriminately killing innocents. Sorry, he gave those people a chance. But from beginning to end, when he didn't see the Hyuga clan appearing in front of those people, they stood up. Say something. And now, the Hyuga clan has invested in his subordinates and even just joined them. They have cut off all previous nominations. In this regard, Kenpachi naturally has to show what he should be a leader. In front of everyone, it's no big deal to give the Hyuga clan a sigh of relief. Minato can't understand normal. If he comes over and tells himself that it looks good, then there is a problem. Even if his son is suffering now, he still needs to continue to bury his thoughts if he wants to completely reverse his thoughts. Foreshadowing. He has time. There is time. The three views of the father of the son of destiny, let him appear in the Chunin exam and take away. The son is going to kill, the scene is so interesting. Minato has already left. Kenpachi looked at the Hyuga clan who was resting below, and then hooked his finger at Azabui. The wine enters the throat. This time, she personally fed it. If you have power, you are entitled to enjoy. This is his new motto. Go ahead and aim for Tanokuni. What do you think? On a grave bag not far from the Hyuga clan, Obito stood on it and never got out of the grave bag. Got out. Glancing at each other, Obito's three-tomo Sharingan is full of doubts and bewilderment. What the hell is Kenpachi going to do? Originally, he thought this kid was going to Konoha for a walk, and he was brushing up on his sense of existence. Unexpectedly, the sense of existence has indeed been brushed, but even with it, it has subdued the entire Hyuga clan. What's the use of leaving those wastes in your hands? Right. Just waste. The Hyuga clan is known as Konoha's first pupil technique and is the strongest Konoha. But Obito knows very well that the so-called strongest is farting. Sharingan from the Uchiha clan does not know how much stronger than Byakugan, except. In terms of investigation, he really didn't know what the Hyuga Byakugan could do. Therefore, Obito couldn't understand Kenpachi's operation at all. The most useful value is right. Even if you want to take it away, you are also taking away the Uchiha clan. What can Byakugan do? Hope Black Zetsu will give him an answer. Unfortunately, Black Zetsu cannot give this answer. It's not that I don't know, but I can't say it. He can't tell Black Zetsu that Ōtsutsuki Hagoromo's younger brother Ōtsutsuki Hamura is Byakugan's blood succession boundary. In the battle with his mother, Ōtsutsuki Hamura's performance was better than those of the Hyuga clan. Too much. Even, behind Hamura also has the product of yin and yang escape, the truth-seeking ball that is above the blood elimination. So obviously, the end of Byakugan is not that simple. But these words, he couldn't tell Obito. As for Kenpachi wanted the blood of the Hyuga clan, it seemed that there was only one reason. He seemed flat, and found a way to promote Byakugan. In addition, Black Zetsu can't give other answers. But, no matter what the purpose is, the power in his hands plus his own strength is a kind of threat. Quote. Black Zetsu has a hoarse voice. He has been making plans since he came out of the womb. This time it's him. It's the closest to victory, so I don't want someone who is out of control to appear and destroy a shinobu village. Strength is enough to influence Project Tsuki no Mi. Don't even think he's still a member of Akatsuki's organization, but if he wants to leave, other than Nagato, it is estimated that others can't stop it. Do a good job of inquiring about his purpose. Quote. After thinking a little bit, Black Zetsu said suddenly, how to hit the side. Obito frowned. Woman and wine. A strange color appeared on Black Zetsu's expression. But do those who are strong have some strange hobbies? Wine. I know, what do you mean, this woman? He's just a 10-year-old kid. Obito narrowed his eyes and realized that things were not that simple. Even if he is 10 years old, he is better than you now. Glancing at a place where Obito is hidden under the fire cloud suit, Black Zetsu has a little disdain on his face. The information was exchanged from Orochimaru. He once asked Kenpachi's ambitions to stay overnight. It's women and wine, and based on my research on people's habits for so long, it's already possible. It is judged that the Azabuyi of Cloud Shinobi Village is gone. Obito swallowed. If that's the case, then I know what to do. I was worried that people like him are unrestrained and unable to control. Now, those hearts don't exist at all. The only person in Akatsuki's organization that can handle this kind of task is Konan next to Nagato. Looking back, I and him. But are you sure that this won't arouse his suspicion? The person in power behind Akatsuki's organization is not Nagato. The boss on the surface is pain controlled by Nagato, but Obito has always appeared next to him as Nagato's leader. This point was described in the original work, and before the Fourth Ninja War opened, Obito used the command. The tone makes Nagato do things, and it can be seen that the substantive leader is Obito. So let Konan act as Kenpachi's undercover agent to inquire about Kenpachi's purpose and plan. Nagato will not refuse. I shouldn't be suspicious, as long as the people sent to satisfy him, it depends on how Konan plays. After the brief communication, the two of them played Kamui and left the other to go back into the grave bag and go on their way. The days were not boring. For the Hyuga clan, every step forward means more progress from the new cattle life. This is a rebirth for them to harvest. Somewhere in Tanokuni, Yinyan village has a rudimentary form, but it is still not completely established. Because this village still lacks some blood inheritance boundaries belonging to Yinyan village. This point Orochimaru is working hard to cultivate. The goal is already there, just wait for the moment. And when Orochimaru and Namikaze Minato, and Anko and Gurren stood at the entrance of Odogyo village in Hyuga 1. Although he had received news from Minato that he was going to arrange a place for many people, he still couldn't help swallowing when those people stood in front of him. Snatching people from Konoha, you deserve it, Kenpachi-kun. A while ago, he did say that Yinyan village lacked people and lacked the blood succession bounded race. But you didn't do things like that, you took all the people back, which is a bit too much. What's even more daunting is the Hyuga clan. Master 4th generation is still alive. F*K, Orochimaru, Mr. Da. What happened? They are indeed a little dazed. The hero who once saved Konoha, 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato actually got mixed up with Konoha's rebel Orochimaru. No, something is wrong. No matter what they think, they don't know why the two of them can get together. Obviously, they are waiting for the Hyuga clan. You live here from today. Walking in front of Hyuga Hiyashi, Kenpachi pointed to the Odogakura village, which is still under construction. Although there is no Konoha prosperous here, but there is everything that should be there, and it is more comfortable. Especially here, you don't have to worry about intrigue. Orochimaru will be responsible for the arrangements for the food, clothing, housing and transportation in the future. Just ask me if you have other questions. Patting Hyuga Hiyashi on the shoulder, Kenpachi gave a smile. Don't worry, this place is under my control. After you go in, count how many of your people are left, and then give me a breakdown. I don't worry about the others, Kenpachi-sama. Hiyashi shook his head. Only one point, if Orochimaru shoots at the Hyuga clan. No, don't worry, but I will systematically improve the overall combat power of your Hyuga clan in some time, and I will need his power at that time. Go in. A brief explanation, Kenpachi let the Hyuga people into the village. Master Orochimaru led the wolf into the room. Gurren approached Orochimaru and whispered. The kid just said that this place is under his control. You should be careful not to save the bones that are eaten by others. Seeing Orochimaru did not speak, Gurren continued to add fuel and jealousy. I should tell you this, you are the one who is not left behind, right? I remember that you used a machine to check Kenpachi-kun's kidney function in the name of a physical examination, and you tried to climb on someone's tatami while he was asleep. Although Anko was kicked out later, I know what you want to do. Quote. Orochimaru looked at Gurren with warnings and dangers in his eyes. In Yinyan village, his efforts are good, but at this moment he already knows the opponent's combat effectiveness, let alone wanting the opponent's body. I am afraid he is a little changed, this guy will kill him without hesitation. He admitted that he failed. Yinyan village is about to be taken away in front of him. However, he still wanted Yi Kenpachi's body, so he didn't say anything. But Gurren's words just now obviously wanted to create some contradictions for him and Kenpachi to do it. He didn't want to listen to this kind of words a second time. Orochimaru was really uncomfortable, but he can't say anything yet. Just now Minato told him that 2/3 of Konoha was cut into nothingness by Kenpachi. This power, what are you thinking about? While thinking, when a familiar voice appeared in his ears, Orochimaru's pupils contracted and looked over in shock. Yi Kenpachi appeared behind him silently. It's nothing, just don't know how to respect Kenpachi-kun. To be sure, if the other party wants to kill him, he is dead. Orochimaru's eyes flickered. You know I don't like to go around, that's boring. Kenpachi grinned and looked at Orochimaru's eyes playfully. Mr. Da's words. It's not difficult. The mouth came to Orochimaru's ear as if saying something. At this moment, Orochimaru's body trembled violently. That's not long. Content. F*K me. Give you Yang Niu. Abandon your body and become a servant of God. Pill. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.